Oh, anyway, here we go. I'm Pat.
Hi, Pat. I'm Jeffrey.
We're back.
Yep.
Sans William.
Let's say, like back. Were we gone?
I don't know. We weren't gone. We haven't missed any of the rotation here this week.
We missed one last week.
Last week we missed one.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah, because you had something to do, right?
Oh yeah, I had family stuff going on
Yeah.
last Sunday. Yeah. Um. Yeah. No, we're not back. We're just here.
Right. Right.
Uh,
Yeah. It's Will that's absent.
oh wait, this thing's got to be.
I mean, it helps, but I mean, it doesn't
I don't think it that
have
hard.
to be specifically there. But I think that's for the best.
Yeah. What the fuck are these things?
Well, those are devices that you use with that keyboard on the back if you want to adjust the angle, the tinting, or anything that
Oh, I got it.
fits your ergonomic needs, Patrick.
I got it. They got magnets on them.
That is correct.
All right, cool.
That is correct.
For the television viewing audience at home, these are little triangles. Triangles.
That's correct. What kind of triangles?
Those are isosceles triangles. No, they're right triangles. There we go.
That's correct.
Yeah.
Is there anything else you can tell me about them?
Uh, no.
What are they called when they have angles lower than 45 degrees?
Acute.
There you go.
Acute. Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, this is a 30-60. So this is a 60. This is a 30. So
It kind of looks like that,
yeah,
but it also kind of doesn't because it has these weird sort of like rounded corners.
it does. Yeah. We should find other objects in your house to describe already.
You asked, man. But that's correct. Yeah, if it is, I mean, it does have a 30-degree angle, so.
It does. So what you been doing lately? You do anything new?
Just fun playing that stupid game, Pat.
Oh, you got tucked into a game, right?
Well,
What is it again? Did you say it's a side scroller?
no,
Yeah, oh, it's a vampire hunter, right?
no. Well, I mean,
Whatever
it's
it is, the
it's in the vein of like Vampire Survivor.
vampire survivor. That's the one where you just fight off waves and waves of enemies, right?
That is correct.
Yeah,
Yeah,
okay.
yeah. They have many different terms for these things, but when it has essentially randomized runs and you're expected to die and that kind of thing.
Oh, okay.
Um, Lots of things to unlock that kind of stuff. Um, yeah, it's very simple, but it's wasted a lot of my time. Um,
Yeah.
yeah,
Okay.
I know,
Yeah.
I know.
There's just like I don't know. Wasn't The Witcher supposed to come out this fall? But I don't think it is now.
No way.
I thought it was. So
This fall?
yeah, I thought so. I must like I don't know time dilation.
Hey, it could be. I don't know. I didn't think it was coming out that soon because I thought all they had. I thought the only thing that they had at that point was that basically that cooked up fucking MP4 file that they showed as the
Yeah, that's what it was.
yeah.
But I'm not sure if that was actually gameplay footage or not.
So there was no gameplay footage in it,
No, no,
if I
okay.
recall.
I don't remember. Well, I don't know if anybody could verify that at the time. I don't know.
Well, there wasn't any gameplay footage in it.
No, no, it was just cinematic.
Yeah.
Yeah. Um, so I don't. Yeah, I have no idea, man. And then what is it? I think they said the GTA 6 is delayed again until next summer.
It was supposed to be out sooner than
I
that.
thought it was supposed to be out Christmas time this year, but apparently not. So, Jeff, I stay away from fucking games journalism as much as possible, and so I have to like go looking
Mm.
for things.
Well, you committed an English taboo there. You actually touched games and journalism together, and that's sort of like ending a sentence with a preposition. You
Yeah,
can't
yeah,
do it. Like you
exactly.
can do it,
He does, but what for?
but it's people will look down on you.
Yeah, I know. I do that all the time, man. In my writing, that's such a bad habit, but I don't care
What,
anymore.
uncoupling the preposition?
Yeah, yeah.
Um,
Especially in my email formats. Dude, my
well,
email
nobody gives a
formats are
fuck
like
what you write in
fucking.
emails.
I
Yeah,
write the shortest goddamn emails.
yeah.
So yeah.
Yeah, I get you there. And I've tried to explain to people, it's like, look, nobody gives a fuck about nobody cares about your emails unless they're to the whole company.
Yeah, then they care.
Then
Yeah.
they will make fun of you if you make
There
mistakes.
will be some people who will do that, and they may be very powerful, or they may be completely inconsequential, but they'll still laugh at you behind your back.
You know what a lot of people are going to
Yeah.
do is they're going to be in lower positions. They're going to say, "This fucking guy is our boss."
That happens all the time, man.
Yeah,
Especially like there and there, you know.
yeah. You
It's
fuck
like
something up like
if you
that, and
fuck something like that, it's like, oh, this guy's a
yeah,
retard.
this is
You know?
you cannot make like second grade mistakes. I mean, if you do, you have to send another email and say, "I'm sorry."
Dude, I had a boss a long time ago. His grammar was atrocious. So
Was he like a super engineer or something, or
no, he
something that?
well, I mean, he came up through the ranks and stuff, but I mean, part of it was he was just dumb. So
There you go.
he wasn't the brightest. He was a good dude, but he wasn't the brightest guy. So and
Yeah,
he wrote like he came out of third grade, man. So
that wasn't a gay dude, was it?
no, that guy was. I mean, shit, dude, he's like Shakespearean in his
He was
fucking
grandiloquent,
yeah.
huh?
That guy was
Okay,
a dick
all
though.
right.
That's the only gay man that I've ever worked for who was an absolute asshole. And I've worked for a couple over the years. I had one guy who was a complete ass. Just one.
I had one that had asshole tendencies, but not.
I've worked for two others, and I've worked with a bunch over the years.
Yeah.
This guy was the only guy who was a bona fide asshole. So, I mean, some of them, like one of them, I had a coworker a while ago, and he'd get a little fired up about things, you know. But it
Fired
was
up isn't necessarily asshole.
well,
I
it was
mean,
no different than anybody else, you know. So let me just put it that way, you know.
like fired up. How? That's a.
He'd get panicky. So,
Oh.
you know, when we were getting busy and shit, he'd get a little panicky. I'd be like, just dude, chill out, you know, kind of thing. He kind of snap at people. So,
Oh. Oh.
yeah.
Oh.
But he didn't mean it. But my boss, you know, like the first gay boss that I had, he was an absolute dick. Um,
Now, again, specify how.
he was cruel. It was
Oh.
weird.
Okay.
Yeah, it was
Okay.
cruel. He was cruel. He would go out of his way to put you down. So, you know, and he would do it in the most public and embarrassing way he could possibly think of. And he
Wow.
was smart too. So, you know, so he was quite
Did
dangerous. Yeah.
anyone call him out?
Fuck no. He was in charge, dude. So, what are you going
I don't.
to do? Not work
I've
there?
seen.
Yeah. I know that's your path, man, but
I've seen.
these guys all had like families and shit.
Oh, okay. Okay. All right. 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 I'm sorry, man. I've been in workplaces where, yeah, you would get that response of like, "Do you want to say that again?
Yeah, no,
Do you want to go in the parking lot and say that to my face?"
yeah, no, nobody that I was working with there would do that. So,
It's happened a couple of times. It's at like,
dude, you're the only guy that I know that's happened to a couple times. All right, you
well,
have always
no,
been more than willing to like fucking burn the bridge down, like not even bother to look over your shoulder, just just throw that cocktail right behind you and whistle it on over your car, man. So, but I mean, this was a big deal job, man. I mean, it had a
well,
lot of people there.
yeah, yeah,
And I mean, and the thing about it was is that, you know, we didn't have any kind of protections in that job.
yeah.
Yeah, and he did fire a couple people just, you know, basically on bullshit that was unfalsifiable but could also be true. So, I mean, it was true enough where he was going to be able to win not only like the fucking unemployment claim. So, but also, you know, like if someone were to try and come back to him and say something about along the lines of like, you know, discrimination or harassment in the workplace or anything like that,
Yeah.
he colored within his own lines, man. You know, of his authority. He
Oh,
was
okay.
just a
Yeah.
dick about it,
Yeah.
you know, and so I mean, but he knew the game, so he knew how to play the game.
Right.
So yeah,
Right. Well, I mean, if that is calling that the game is kind of, I mean, it's kind of sucky, but I guess it's the truth. Is when
yeah,
people have just that amount of juice and they decide to um, it's sort of like the definition of like psychopathy, where if you look at the position that you're in, and the only thing that comes to mind is how can I make life worse for people,
Yeah.
right? That's like sort of being like the dictator of Iran. It's like no, because you look at your resource and you say like, all right, well, I have this going on, and I can't get everybody, but I can feed this many people.
Yeah.
I'm not gonna.
I'm not gonna do none of that.
Right.
Yeah. Yeah, he was the only guy that I've ever worked for that was like that. I've worked with other people like that who, if they had become bosses, probably would have done that.
Oh, that's that I complete.
Yeah, that I've seen a
Some
couple times.
people are kept out of the pilot's chair for a reason,
Exactly.
because they will openly say like, if you say one more thing to me, I will crash this plane and everyone in it.
Right. Yeah.
It's like you won't just jump out. It's like no,
No. I'm going to crash in your
I
house.
will put this thing at the bottom of the ocean.
Yeah.
Your family ain't gonna know what happened to you.
Mm.
Well, dude, I mean, just talking about a former boss of mine, right? I had a coworker that actually was on his way from the job site to Denver,
Hmm.
right? Because he was actually going to kick his ass.
Yeah. I guess I bet you I can guess what company that was. What
Correct.
field that
That's why I'm
was.
saying, like, when people have been like, "You're going to talk to me like how?" That that shit didn't fly. Like, there's a version of it where, like, I know Will got straightened out once uh, by Eric, actually. Right? He told me about that,
Yeah.
and it was just a simple. I can't remember how Will said it. I'll have to ask him about it, but it was basically like a you can't question what I'm telling you to do when I'm in the middle of these operations, because if you do,
Yeah.
right, this is where people can get hurt.
Yeah.
And so the way that manifested itself was get the fuck off my floor.
Yeah.
So I was like, okay, yeah. So I've seen this sort of thing where it gets it gets very terse, it gets very direct, and there's a lot of like you cannot talk to people that way.
I've worked 17 different jobs. I've only had one where it was okay to swear at each other. Only one.
Yeah, mm.
Only one. Because otherwise it was taken as like, well, what's your problem? Yeah.
But swear at, not swear with, right?
Swear with is fine, but
Okay,
you don't
yeah.
do it in front of customers. You don't do it in
Oh
front of
no, no,
your
no,
boss.
no, no.
So things like that. But yeah, but actually, like where it was okay to cuss people out. I've only had one job that was like that.
The same kind of field that,
Yeah, absolutely.
yeah.
So yeah, and
There is a world out there that people,
it had nothing to do
yeah,
with operational sufficiency or safety. They
yeah.
were just fucking
It's
assholes.
just
They,
the
that company
attitude of the place, yeah.
that company just collected people who were mad at life.
God damn, man.
It did, man. And then it got its hooks into them, and then it wouldn't let them go. And so they just wriggle their careers out, hooked into that shit.
Just
Yep.
carve out the living that you can, and
Yep. Well, it was an ass job, man. I mean, like those guys, they had no predictability in their schedule, zero.
yeah,
They get
sounds familiar.
well, dude, it's worse on the railroad because the way that it works is your schedule would go. I mean, you would go out for a 40-hour trip, and then you would come back, and then you didn't know if you could get at least 12 hours off at that point in time. But there was no guarantee that you weren't getting a call at 12 hours and 1 minute, or you could go 3 days without a call. So, and if you go like past like a day without a call and it's busy, well, you're not even going to the fucking bathroom, at this point in time because you're just waiting for that phone to ring, man.
Right,
It was awful,
right.
dude. So, and I mean, especially the new guys, we would just burn through them, man. So we would ingest about 50 new guys through the hiring hall twice a year. Within 6 months, half of them were always gone. So
And this was just a known property, right? It's
it's
just,
a union shop. You can't
yeah,
change any of the fucking rules.
right.
So, all the rules went back to the 1950s. So, it just is. Yeah. And so, yeah, people that are custody, they were just mean to each other, you know? And it wasn't a pleasant place to work, man.
Well, that was their love language, Patrick.
I think that's what that was. But I guess we could call it that,
How
man.
they communicate their affection.
See, the funny thing is, there's a couple of people there who didn't like, who like that lifestyle, because there are people who do like that lifestyle. Okay, they were
Yeah.
generally single or on divorce number two.
Well, they do come from the warrior caste, right?
Right,
Yeah,
exactly. They're
yeah,
very Ronin-like.
yeah.
Yeah. So, but those guys didn't cuss at each other.
Right,
So those are the
right.
guys who would actually, offer to help you and stuff. You know, because everybody else get mad and just be stupid about things.
Well, because you're right. Everything that you're doing is sort of it's in opposition to where you want to be and want to do, right?
Yep.
And so it's something that even at your best is always like chipping at you. It's like if you've ever had to just do like a 12-hour shift through a headache, right?
Oh yeah, many
Um,
times.
and that's the thing is you can do it
Yep.
and you can get it done, but that hurt is always there.
All day long. Yes.
And sometimes you can just play it off like you're busy, and then other times when you have a free minute, it still hurts,
Yeah.
right? And it just chips away at you all day.
Yep.
Yeah.
And sometimes it just takes one bad interaction and you say something you're going to regret. So, yeah.
Especially when you're around 95 other ticking time bombs.
Oh yeah. Well, see, that was the funny thing is like guys there, they would see. I mean, we had like 350 guys working for me there, something like that. Those guys would see each other like once a year.
Oh,
Yeah.
okay. Yeah.
Because your ticket had to get punched the exact same time somebody else's ticket got punched in order for you to actually like team up with that guy.
Okay. Yeah.
Yeah, the exception was like we had 3 jobs that were regular scheduled switch crew jobs, and then one job that was a local that ran every Sunday. Those guys were all on their own boards where they got their own special gig. All of these guys had 45 years plus seniority with the company. They were all old as fuck.
I was saying, these weren't like the repair guys, were they?
No. That was a totally different craft, man.
Okay.
So,
Yeah.
yeah. So those guys had normal shifts, but that was a different union. We had 4 different unions there, man. So, yeah. And they were kind of like rank ordered in terms of like the primo union and the shit union.
Who was what was the good union?
The primo union was to be a signalman. So you get your own truck, you get your own territory. Nobody tells you what to do in your territory. You just have to make sure all the signals fucking work. That was the primo job. Nobody realized that. They're like, well, I don't want to play with electricity. It's like, yeah, actually, you kind of do because that's the best job that's out here.
Now, if the signals aren't working,
yeah,
then what?
You better get them working, man. Yeah. You better figure it out. It's your responsibility.
I was going to say, like there are certain things where it's like you're basically untouchable, but if these signals aren't working,
we're waiting on you, man.
Yeah,
because you're the guy.
Yeah.
Yeah. So, but that was the best union that they had there, and then the machinists, the mechanics, and those guys, they had it pretty good too, man. But they would burn through a lot of guys because they would get guys out of diesel schools. Okay,
that's bad.
They wouldn't stay. So they'd stick around for like 2-3 years and get a couple certs, and then they'd move to someplace that wasn't a shithole. So, so they wouldn't stay, So they were always young. They were always making mistakes and stuff like that. So
I got you.
But there were a couple old hands that were local there. They were fun. So, but they had normal 8 to 5 jobs. So,
well, see that I can understand. I mean,
yeah, that was good.
But so that was the thing. Was ultimately once you had the skills and stuff, you'd get out of Scotts Bluff, Nebraska, essentially.
You could. I mean, usually not with the same railroad. They wouldn't.
Well, no.
Yeah.
I'm talking about like the machinists and stuff. Like, so once you got that practice, there's no reason to hang out here when somebody can hire you in.
Yeah, you could.
Pittsburgh.
You could usually make more money working for like an actual truck stop. Because they didn't get paid that. I mean, they got paid pretty good, but they didn't get paid that much. So
I'm sure it was a good living. I mean, there's
everything on that job was good living, man. I mean, that's the blood price. So as you get paid. So
I know.
Yeah, but it's blood money. They're gonna get their blood out of you, man. Because that's been all negotiated down to a T.
Well,
You're gonna get this much cash, and we're gonna take this much fucking
there,
blood.
I will tell you, I've worked at quite a few places where, some of the employees seem to think they're like, how do I say this? They think that what they do on, I don't want to call it like the front line because that's sort of like that implies sort of like a grenade tossy kind of
Oh, right, yeah.
situation here.
This
But
company doesn't run without its customer service department.
well, right,
It's
right,
like, yeah, actually, be fine.
and
Yeah.
you got a lot of people that are part of the team, and they think that what they do is like, oh, okay, so you we'll miss the 70 home runs that you hit every year and the
Yeah.
100 stolen bases.
Right, yeah,
Nobody's been a
exactly.
part of that club
And don't
since.
forget those 40 strikeouts you
Right,
got.
and they
Yeah.
walk around like they are a 70 home run hitter,
Right, yeah.
and this company would fall apart without me. I'm like, um, you say that,
Yeah, you say that.
you say that,
So, yet we may test it someday.
and oddly enough, I have been in places where there were sort of like these unspoken like leaders that weren't actually leaders. They
Oh,
were
yeah.
just people who it's like, uh, I don't know what it is. It's like, how long have you been here? It's like 24 years. It's
Yeah.
like, and you're not. It's like, I don't,
Don't want to
I
do
don't,
that.
I
Yeah.
don't. But they end up taking on a whole ton of things because they know everything, right?
Yeah. And, 9 times out of 10, every place has guys like that, and then one of the things that they do better than anybody else is even the workout because they'll find like, they've been there long enough or they know enough about everything to know that like, all right, if I don't handle this, things are going to go shitty. And
Yes.
then I'm not getting out of here early today.
You obviously have known these people.
I know
So you
I've
know
known
exactly
plenty
what
of these people. Yeah. So they're not uncommon. I think just about every job site has a couple of them. So
and you need those people.
you do. I mean, it just depends on what you're trying to do. You know, I mean, some companies are just designed for turnover, though, man. So you don't really worry about that too much. You kind of worry about the guy who sticks around, actually, in some of those situations.
Well, I mean, I imagine that today's a very different story than say 2000 or
Oh, I have no idea.
1990.
Well, it's a different fucking planet. That's
Well, that is absolutely true. Um, but yeah, it is a little dog. You
dog.
are going to
You're about to. Yeah.
you this this action you're taking is quite precipitous, dog. Um, but yeah, it's weird because yeah, you have these people there who have not they really haven't been promoted, but even leadership will like come up to them and say like, "Hey, how did we do this in '88?"
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah. 88 now, not that anymore.
well
You're not gonna find guys that old anymore. This is the
that
thing is you're thinking that's like, oh, that's like my dad's guys
I
that I
know.
worked with. Yeah. So not realizing that like if I count down my dad's guys that he worked with, almost all of them are dead. I mean like
That's
long dead.
yeah.
Yeah, so So I was like, yeah, I opened the station in '85. It's like, wow.
Well, that's the thing, and you have to count it off. You're like, wait, so 4 decades ago?
Wait a minute, what? Yeah, I know. I was doing that with movies the other day because they got that Tron movie out. My brother wanted to go see it.
Oh yeah,
Yeah, and I was like, I don't know. But I saw that YouTube TV had the original one on there.
I think that's 82.
It is
I think
82,
it's
and man,
82.
does it look like it, dude.
It looks every.
Yeah,
There is something very Logan's Runish kind of about that.
yeah,
Yeah,
yeah.
I was never one of those people that pretended that Tron was a hidden gem, that it was misunderstood or
Right,
um, a diamond in the rough, just
yeah. From the '80s.
not appreciated. Look, there are movies that are that absolutely that 100%. Totally not appreciated in their time. They had a prophetic look, whether it be in the way that it was written or the ideas, the concepts, the style. There are movies that you can look at and say like, no wonder this didn't hit in '88,
Oh, right,
but
yeah.
it would have been huge in '94, right?
There are a few of those.
And that happens, but Tron is not one of them. Tron was
It kind of exists in its own time, man. So,
like Tron died at the box office
did it?
for oh yes,
I don't really know the story behind it. I never saw it as a kid.
that's when I
Um,
saw it.
yeah, see, I saw it when I was way older.
Well, that
And I was like, okay, cool, you know. But I didn't see it as a kid. I remember like some of the guys that used to hang out with were into it, especially with the slot cars. So remember those
the slot cars.
slot cars where you build the track. So and then the black track, and you have the pistol. Then you
Well,
race.
I'm aware of that, but
Yeah.
they had a Tron set for
Oh
this.
yeah.
Oh,
Oh yeah.
okay,
Yeah. 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 Well, I mean, they were just like, I mean, they were little four-wheel motorcycle looking things. So
okay. So
yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
they weren't actually motorcycles. They weren't
No.
actually
No. No.
okay.
No.
All right,
No.
all right. Well, I guess I can see that. Well, I mean, before I even saw the movie, so I got to tell you, I knew about this because at Skate City, when you go there, especially like on birthdays or school trips, they had a row of arcade machines. Tron was one of them,
Oh, okay.
and so I ended up seeing the movie because I saw the game.
Mm.
And
That's when I saw Iron Eagle because of the fucking.
are you kidding me?
I'm no,
Really?
I played the game before I saw the fucking
I didn't
movie.
even know there was an Iron Eagle game.
Yeah, yeah,
It's
yeah.
got to be bad.
It's bad. It's bad. Yeah, yeah, yeah.
I mean, it's just if it's your source material you're coming from is pretty rough stuff, just to begin with. So,
I can't remember who starred in it.
well, the only star
It's one of those guys.
the only star that was noteworthy was Louis Gossett Jr.
Really?
Yeah.
Back then?
Yep.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. Nobody. So I'm trying. He had I can't remember what his name was in the movie. He was like Tacky or something like that. He had some kind of like nickname that, and he was. Um, I can't remember the kid's name. It was Mike or whatever, but
Yeah.
yeah, and he's the one that ultimately. Yeah, it was just Lou Gossett Jr. That's
Gosh, I can't even picture his face right now.
what's black.
Well, I probably recognize him immediately,
You
but
100% would.
yeah, but
Yeah,
yeah, I just can't picture him right now.
he's in a ton of great movies. But he was one generation removed from where we were, right?
Okay, previous to yeah,
Yeah. So
got
in
it.
the same way, like it,
There were a couple guys that were just a little bit out of my reach, man. So I think he was probably one. Gene Wilder was always one too.
that's
So
that's what
yeah.
I'm talking. Yeah, Gene Wilder. Like if you'd ask my dad at some point to say like, give me a top five actors that you knew,
Oh,
I guarantee you he'd say like, well, Sidney Poitier.
right.
But he was
He
like
was one of my dad's favorites.
exactly,
Yeah,
yeah. I
exactly.
think that was
Peter
Big Jim.
Sellers was another one.
Peter
They
Sellers.
loved fucking Peter Sellers.
I think that
So,
came out of my dad's mouth a couple of
yeah.
times. I think people were kind of 50-50, either loved or hated Jimmy Stewart.
My dad was a big Jimmy Stewart fan. My dad actually had his autograph. So
That's actually kind of cool.
it was kind of cool. So I think he got it from the Air Force, if I'm not mistaken. Because that guy was, I mean, Jimmy Stewart's an
Oh,
interesting
that's
dude,
right.
man.
Yeah,
Yeah.
he did serve,
He
didn't
like
he?
bombed fucking Germany.
He did. Yeah. Some of the weirdest guys. It's like I know he did. I know fucking Fred Astaire did.
Yeah, he did.
Um,
So there's a couple guys. Well, like Lee Marvin actually landed at Iwo Jima. So if I'm not
wasn't
mistaken.
Lee Marvin one of those like I don't want to talk about it kind of guys?
Yep.
If I recall, like they asked him about his service. He's like, "Well, I was here, here, and here,"
Yeah.
and he.
I think he got wounded at Iwo Jima. But yeah, so Lee Marvin would fit in that group too, and there was a couple other
Yeah.
badass guys from that, like Ernest Borgnine and
But we knew Ernest Borgnine.
Well, I know him. What the fuck did I know him from?
He's from like Gilligan's Island, isn't he? Like,
Was he the skipper?
yeah, yeah.
Maybe.
And it's like when I heard it's like was supposed to. He was a serious actor.
Well, yeah, he was, but he was also kind of a goofball too.
Yeah,
So, um, well, and there were a couple other guys that I just didn't really know that were from that generation, but they pop up in like movies later on. Like Charlton Heston was a good example of that. And
right,
then,
right.
like there would be a couple of like even Paul Newman and Robert Redford. I didn't know them that well.
That okay? You know what? That's
And I mean, I'm sorry, man. I've watched Butch Cassidy and Sundance Kid like 5 times. I still don't like that movie. I just there.
it's.
It's just like, man, like I've never seen a movie that tried to make me like it more and just failed miserably at it.
I guess
I don't
so.
know what it is.
It's a tough one. I think there are some movies where I feel like you had to be there, right? I
I
feel
think
like
that's one of
it
those.
was part
Yeah.
of the cultural zeitgeist of what was going on. A famous example for me is The Graduate. Like I've seen
I
it,
don't get that one. I don't get it. Yeah.
but I feel like if you were there at the time, there was
Yeah.
something in the national attitude that really clicked.
It must have been, but yeah, I don't get that one.
It's the same thing
So
as like Midnight Cowboy. I'm like this.
I've never actually seen that.
Look,
Yeah, I've never actually
it's
seen
not a bad movie.
it.
It's just you're
Yeah.
there's a point where you're saying like this is all has to be coming from the performances because the actual story of this is like nobody would honestly think like I should tell a story about this, right? But then you get to it, it's like okay, this I see the performances, and there is sort of a like if you're looking at like what the culture was and the development of understanding like there's this underground culture, there's this like
Yeah.
sort of there's an underside of things that we kept hidden in the 50s, that sort of thing. What is it? Easy Rider. Again, something for me. I'm like, this means nothing
Yeah,
to me,
that one doesn't work for me
right?
either. Yeah.
But it's like,
This is Dennis Hopper, right?
yeah,
Yeah. I
yeah.
don't get that one.
And people, you constantly look at like the AFI's list. It's somewhere in the top 10 or 15.
Yeah, yeah. It just
Yeah,
yeah,
yeah.
there's well, to be fair, there's a couple movies on the list that just it's like no. It's like that movie's so far up its own ass, man.
You're not wrong, but yeah, there were a couple of. So yeah, like Lou Gossett Jr. He was definitely one of those like one step removed. Um, even some of the stuff where like I don't think that like Bruce Lee was part of my generation. I don't think that.
He
Uh,
was before my time. I remember watching what is it, the Tower of Death or Doom or whatever it is.
oh, with I think
It's got Chuck Norris and fucking Kareem
yeah,
Abdul-Jabbar in it.
yeah,
So
yeah.
I remember like so I had this buddy in like third grade, and he was way into kung fu shit. So and I mean, we go over to his house, he just played that on loop. So on his Betamax, and I didn't get it. I was like, so he's gonna fight these guys, and you've already seen.
So I get it.
Yeah.
There's there's a fun angle to this, in the there's, there's something in it. This is the weird thing that it took me a long time to understand when it came to being an American and watching these films like this. Um, these Asian movies and stuff like that, and you're seeing people actually get into fist fights and martial arts and all this other stuff, right?
Mhm.
And it wasn't for a long time that I realized that other nations did not have guns. Because
Oh, right, yeah,
there's this version of things where you say, why are you guys
yeah.
doing this?
Well, you're gonna fight all these guys in this tower like this.
This is
This
retarded.
is ridiculous.
And the bad guys all agree.
Yeah. Yes, we will fight you with swords and knives and pokey sticks.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
And it turns out that just they don't
We just
have
don't
guns.
have
That
guns.
is just
Yeah.
straightforward. They don't have them. Um, and if you get one in, right? If you manage to snuggle one in somehow, because that is part of
You
what you
rule the
do.
world, man. Yeah.
Well, it means that you have 6 bullets and you're not going to get more.
Right, yeah.
Yeah, it's
You got to be
tough for you to
really
get
careful. Yeah, that's
ammunition.
true. Yeah, yeah, yeah,
Yes,
yeah. You better off the crossbow.
you're absolutely right. When it comes down to it, when they look at the assassination they had there with that homemade gun, right? That was
Oh, in Japan?
yeah,
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 that's right. That guy did make that gun
yeah,
himself. Yeah.
yeah.
I can't imagine living in a country where you can't have guns, man. But then if I grew up in a place like Japan, I'd probably feel the opposite. I was like, I can't imagine living in that fucking Wild West dystopia.
Well, so
That is America. Yeah.
what I've seen a lot is when foreign travelers, especially from that region from Japan, one of the things they love to do when they get out here is go to a gun
A gun
range,
range. Yeah.
and they have the times of their
Yeah.
lives. Yeah.
So I like over the years I've had a lot of German students. That's like the first thing they do when they get here.
Oh, they have that same kind of
Oh
response here
yeah.
too.
Well, I mean, there all the cops have guns and shit. So
Yeah.
you see guns, but you're not allowed to touch guns.
Right.
So kind of thing. And so, whereas like I've had students from England and they've never even seen a gun. Kind of thing.
Yeah.
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 Then they see a guy open carrying in Walmart and they're like freaked out by it.
That must be the president.
Right. Is he your local shiree? He's rather plainly dressed. He's like, no, that's a fat man going to Walmart to get a Slurpee. He's allowed to have a gun. Oh yeah.
Well, he has this little card that
Yeah.
says he's allowed to
Well,
carry
open
it
carry,
open.
you
Yeah.
just fucking open carry. You can just do this. So,
Oh
but
well, yeah, that's true. It's concealed carry. That's the
concealed carry, but
yeah.
that is so easy to get now, man. It's crazy.
Is it
So,
really?
oh, it's way easy. So, a couple $100, and like, I mean, so we got kind of a cowboy sheriff here now
Good.
who's going to sign
I don't
off
have a
on
problem
all
with
that
that.
stuff.
Yeah.
Yeah. So, but to be fair, like, I mean, I haven't seen a guy open carry in a little bit. Um, yeah, because there's certain places you can't do it. Like you can't do it at a bar. You're not allowed to open carry in a bar.
Right. You can't
Yeah,
do it in a movie theater.
can't do it in a movie
Yeah.
theater. Yeah. And like any business can say no weapons.
This is true.
But you can
Yeah.
still conceal carry in most of those, the ones that says TSA.
Better say. How are they going to know?
Well, yeah, I mean, but the problem with that is like there's some places where people think that you can say that, but you can't. So,
Mm.
like obviously schools, you can't do that in schools.
Yeah. Yeah.
So, but then churches are another one. Like doctors' offices are another one. Who's going to fucking check you? So there's a couple of them, but then there's a couple of places where it's absolutely allowed, and like college campuses are one of them. People don't realize that, but
But I gotta tell you, it's not the guys with the concealed carry licenses
those aren't
that
good.
I'm worried
Yeah,
about
I wouldn't worry about them
in those places. It's the
either.
people that understand that yes, you can go ahead and fit this in your pocket, and
Mhm.
I'm not going to think it's anything other than a phone.
No, not really. Yeah.
Or if you're wearing a jacket and
Yep.
this is or if you're trying to Kyle Reese this thing where you saw off your shotgun and use a piece of string to hide it around your shoulder and your
This is so clever, man. Saw this in a movie. That was one that I didn't catch on to right away. I actually saw Terminator 2 before I ever saw Terminator 1.
Oh, really?
Yeah,
Oh,
because I saw T2 in the theater with Paul and John, and we were like, "Fuck!" And
what an experience.
I was like, "What the fuck is this?"
Yeah.
And they're like, "What?" So,
They are related
tangentially,
thematically, yeah.
they're held together by the loop system string.
I saw this was something just a little clip that James Cameron said, and there's something that, despite the fact about the way he is up his ass about certain things, and I do respect that, like when people zone in on the thing that they like, because there are some actors where you say, "Man, you are really into being a pilot now," or whatever it is
Oh
that
yeah,
they
yeah.
find that thing that they're into, and James Cameron is like, "Well, I'm all about oceanic crap." and I respect that because he loves it. He
Yeah, he
absolutely loves
does.
it. But I saw an interview with him when he was talking about editing Terminator 2, and it's funny because they have those famous deleted scenes that
Yeah,
actually
the mirror scene with Linda Hamilton's twin sister.
it's brilliant, but
Yeah.
it's slow. It's something where they say, "Can we get the point across by not taking out the chip and just say the chip can learn?" Yeah,
Yeah,
yeah, we
I guess
can.
we can't just say that. Yeah.
This shot took us like
Months. Yeah.
months of choreography, and it's just on the floor. Same thing goes with the scenes where they reveal that the T-1000 is having like software
Oh,
trouble,
yeah, yeah, yeah.
um, and they just took it out because, well, actually, it makes more sense for this setup point here where um, John would inherently know that his mom wouldn't call out for him like this. Whereas in the actual the thing, you can see its feet kind of like stuck to the floor,
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
which is a
Yeah, I've seen
giveaway,
those. Yeah.
and it's much better. And the thing that he says was, I had such a hard time cutting things out of this movie. He's like, because I wanted to keep everything. So much to the point that I went to the guys and I said, all right, I have an idea. They said, what is that? It's like, all right. And I do believe, correct me if I'm wrong, but I believe film is shot at 18 frames a second.
Oh, I don't
I
remember.
believe it's at 18. And I think that what he said was, all right, I just want to get a few minutes out. So shave one
Frame.
frame
Yeah.
out of every 18, shots.
Get me 3 extra minutes.
And
Yeah.
he showed what that looked like. It's so jarring.
Oh, really?
It is so incredibly jarring. He's like, nobody will even notice.
Nobody really knows.
Nobody
And
will
everybody,
notice.
as soon as they roll it, they're like, "Oh, fuck."
And they're showing images of it. This is the kind of thing where it's not the sort of thing where somebody tells you, it's like, hey, if you once you see it and you see that there's a Pepsi logo in every shot, you can't not see it
Yeah,
anymore.
sure.
This is one of the things where even if nobody told you, you'd be like,
What was wrong
is it
with
my
that? Yeah,
TV that's
yeah.
fucked up?
What's the matter with yeah? You get my eyes checked.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. And I appreciate that kind of thinking. That's very
It's clever.
that's very novel. It is very good that he didn't do that. But yeah, what I feel kind of jealous. I did not see that in the theater, and I really wish I had. That must have been one hell of an experience.
I I barely remember it because I didn't know anything about that. It was just Paul was way fucking into that shit. So,
He had seen the first one, I presume.
oh,
Yeah.
totally.
Okay.
Yeah.
All
Yeah,
right.
yeah. In fact, he bought that really cool side-scrolling Nintendo, or maybe it was a Genesis game.
Oh. Okay.
So,
Yeah.
yeah, and we played the fuck out of that for a while. Your brother was there for that. So, but yeah, no, they were. Paul was hell bent on going to go see it. So,
That was a rated R film.
we went with oh, maybe we went with his older sister. She wasn't 18 though.
No.
No, was it R rated?
Oh yeah. Absolutely.
T2?
100%. Yes.
Oh,
Yeah.
huh. I don't know how we got into that then.
Patrick, they used to make R-rated action movies. This
I
is
don't remember. I don't remember having a problem getting into it because we went and saw it over at Academy Station 6. So,
well, it was Academy. Not to pick on the caliber of people that work there. I just don't. I don't, I don't think I would see these guys saying like with you guys walking up and saying, "3 for Terminator 2, please." I don't
uh-uh.
see these guys locking in and saying, "Where's your mom or dad? Do they know you're seeing this movie?"
No, they didn't. Yeah, but we didn't pay for the tickets. We
Oh,
had tickets.
oh,
So I don't know. Yeah, he had tickets somehow. And we went there, and I'm pretty sure we went there with his older sister. Um,
I thought she was just like a year,
she was a couple years older than he
couple years.
was, but
Okay,
she was definitely not 18 at that point in time. She
right,
was probably
right.
like maybe 15. So, because 92, uh,
Well, if it was,
oh, okay. No, she might have been. She might have been. Yeah, she might have been.
well, because you're a couple years older than me, so
Yeah, but we were definitely in. we were definitely going to junior high.
Final year of it.
Yeah,
Yeah,
it was the final year,
yeah.
and so I think his sister might have been.
But that would make
She might
sense.
have been
Yeah,
17. Come to think of it,
17's fine.
yeah, she might have been 17. So, but she got the tickets, and so then we actually we rode our bikes over there.
People don't know this was.
We rode our bikes over there, man. Yeah.
This is just a different
It
time.
was
They
a
have
different
no
time. Yeah,
idea.
yeah, I know, man. They melted
This
down
is
that fucking bike route for scrap 20 years ago, man. But there used to be a fucking row of them there, man.
just this concept. Number one of talking to people, they say, yes, we used to go see movies. We used to. It wasn't even consolidated then. Uh, we had like 8 small theaters around town instead of
Two enormous ones.
gigantic ones. And to be fair, we actually have 3.
Where's the third? Oh, yeah, the one up north.
Yeah,
I still haven't been to that one. So,
I mean, but I don't live up there. It would
yeah, no, me neither.
it would be. Look, I get people joke about like, let's not go to that Denny's. Let's go to the good one, right? Even when you live next to that one, but
It's a bad one. You don't go there.
there is no version where I have the just like the superplex within walking distance of my house,
Hmm.
and I have to drive 15 miles north
Hmm.
to see a movie there.
Yeah, no,
Yeah,
no.
that's ridiculous.
Yeah, no, me neither.
But yeah, that thing of yes, just driving out there or not driving. I'm sorry, riding your bikes to the theater.
Yep.
Um, Having somebody older buy tickets for you, that sort of thing.
I almost guarantee that's what she did. I didn't think it was her original.
Oh, it absolutely was.
I believe
Oh
it,
yeah,
man.
I mean,
So, because we've gone to other R-rated films.
yeah.
Usually with my dad though, or somebody. Well, not my dad, but so Greg's dad used to love all those fucking
Oh,
movies.
okay, yeah.
He would take us.
But yeah, that's just people don't understand when they look at. There's a lot of movies or shows that I watch where people watch movies that kind of thing, and it's kind of enjoyable. But there's this string of it's really the 80s and 90s of R-rated action movies. Predators in there, just stuff like that, where you look at that and say,
Yeah, I never saw that one in the theater.
"No, I
No.
was 7."
Yeah, well, even Predator 2. So
I didn't see that one in the
I
theater. I
didn't see that
saw
in the
that
theater.
that one was something that my dad was quick to rent when it came out.
Yeah, no, I don't think I saw that one until it showed up on cable. So might have been during one of the times where he had HBO.
Fair enough. All right, because yeah,
Everything in that opening scene. So where the predator jumps over the roof and slaughters all those dudes.
it's
My mom walked down the stairs. She's like, "Oh my god, are those people humping?"
that's that's what you dander up, huh?
Well,
Okay,
and
got it, Mom.
all she had to do was wait about 8 seconds before it got much worse than that.
But they are, but that's not the
That's not
point
the
of this
point.
thing,
Yeah,
Mom.
yeah.
Um,
So, yeah. No, my mom was a little bit stricter about some of that stuff, but she didn't. She didn't mind if I was going with friends, which was weird. So, yeah.
how would that make it better?
I don't know, man. I'll have to ask her sometime. She's still around. So,
I will appreciate if this is the sort of thing that she does remember.
she's kind of weird, man. So she's getting up there in age, but she's also like remarkably sharp about certain things. I mean, man, like things that are actually important, not so much. Yeah. So, but I guess this is not that big of a list anymore. So, but anyway, um, yeah, I remember going to a couple like Indiana Jones was an R.
No,
Yeah, okay.
no.
Because I definitely so like there's like 4 or 5 big movies that I saw that I remember very clearly. So I think the first one was E.T. I saw that in the theater when I was about 5 or something. It freaked me the fuck
Freaked me
out.
out too.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
And I wouldn't watch that movie for years. And then when I watched it, I was like, oh wait, that's actually really innocuous.
Pretty
You
much.
just have a
Pretty
different
much.
brain when you're like in preschool age. I get it. Or kindergarten, whatever.
Well, if you were, I think if you were the right age for it, I think that is the most magical movie that you've ever seen at that point.
Yeah.
Um, if you're a little bit too young for it.
Yeah.
There's I'm imagining that you probably had the same issues that I did, like with the where he's dying scene and he's all crusted up and
He's all white.
shriveled.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. There's a part of this where it's like, man, this is like gross.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. So, but that was like the big one that I caught when I was really young.
Okay. Yeah.
And then like a couple of them, like I'm sure, like everybody saw Jurassic Park. So
That was required. That
that
was
was I
that
was
was an event. That wasn't a
when you
movie.
were
That
that
was a straight up fucking event.
if you were the right age for that, you went to that fucking thing. So that was a big deal. So because they did a good job of marketing that for a long time. And so I remember that.
Shit.
We had all read the book before the movie came out.
Yeah, that was. I remember. I remember. Will didn't even have to buy it. That
Uh-uh.
was something my dad had because that was um, not to pick on old Michael Crichton here, but he wrote airport books.
He did write a lot of airport books. My dad would bring him home too.
Yeah,
Yeah. So that's how I was introduced to Congo and Sphere, you know,
yeah,
which
yeah.
both became awful movies. Whatever.
I think Sphere's better than Congo,
Sphere is
but
way
it's
better
not.
than Congo.
It's not great.
I actually watched it not too long ago, and I forgot how retarded the ending in that one is.
Oh
Where
yeah,
it's just like, oh, let's just forget. And it's like, what?
it's yeah. You're like, oh, okay. Well, if that's your attitude, then it's mine too. Okay,
Well,
thank
the
you
other,
very much.
so then it's like something like Crichton did this thing where he would just tiptoe around like science that was possible. But in some cases, it was like, no, this is not possible, you know, and like building a hab 2,500 feet below the surface of the ocean, and then being able to see the thing with lights. It's like, no. So,
Well, he was always a concept guy.
he
I mean,
was a
that
concept guy.
was
I get it.
the. I would argue that none of his books, as far as I'm concerned, have any particularly like in the books. People remember the characters
Yeah.
from his movies, not from the actual books. I'll put it to you that
No,
way.
because they're different.
Yeah,
Almost all of them are different.
yeah.
So,
I think he even said that too. I think he said that like I much prefer what Spielberg did with my characters than
yep.
what I did. He's like, because yeah, he sanded off the edges pretty well and gave people actual, motivations and shit. Like,
Right. And dialogue that didn't suck. Yeah.
right, right. But yeah, I mean, you're talking about a dude where you look at his body of work. It's always based off an interesting concept. That's like
Yeah.
Andromeda Strain. That's
That's a
all
great movie.
concept. Terminal
I
movie.
haven't seen that in a
It's
long
all
time, man.
um, Terminal Man is the same kind of thing. It's all based off of
That's one where they time travel, right?
no. Wait,
Which one is
Andromeda
Terminal?
Strain?
No, I know Andromeda.
Terminal Man
Terminal Man?
is that's the one about the guy that it's weird because this comes this is so early. This is like early 80s. This is one of his earliest books where it was the concept was he was looking at some brain research and he was looking at the it's not quite fuck what's the movie Flowers for Algernon. It's not that,
Oh,
but
okay.
it's basically like if a person has the ability to essentially it was about curing mental illness with electronics
Uh-huh.
and being done by a way that a person can actually mentally stimulate a part of their brain uh,
Oh, I don't remember this one. Yeah,
voluntarily,
I don't
right?
remember this. This was a movie?
It was a book.
Okay, I
I
don't
don't
think
know
I
if it was
read
a
that
movie,
one.
but he also did Great Train Robbery,
They
didn't
did
he?
a Great Train
Yeah,
Robbery.
yeah.
That was pretty good. I don't think they turned that into a movie. I,
Not that I know.
I
It
did read
might
the
be.
book. The book wasn't bad. But there was another one where they did time travel. They went back to like fucking 8th century France or something. Remember that?
Oh yes,
Yeah,
yes.
and then they couldn't get back. Um, yeah, there was some.
Yeah,
Yeah,
yeah, yeah. You're right. And it didn't have such like a stupid like on the nose name as like Time Jump
time
or
cracks.
yeah, yeah,
Yeah.
yeah, yeah. I remember that. Well, I mean, this is the same guy that wrote The Eaters of the Dead,
He did write that.
which got turned into the 13th Warrior.
It did, which is
You will find some people who swear up and down this movie kicks so much ass.
I'm going to agree that the movie kicks ass for about 45 minutes, and then it gets dumb.
I I think the people that say it kicks ass look at the dumb part and say that
That
rules.
rules. Yeah, exactly.
And that's
Yeah,
fine.
that's fine.
That's fine. I'm glad that you liked it.
Yeah. I like the first 45 minutes. So, in fact, it's got one of the best fight scenes, I think, in any movie where that guy is just playing with that other dude while he's breaking his shields and stuff.
Oh yeah,
And
yeah,
he just like
yeah.
fucking sticks him, and it's
Yeah.
like, yeah. And we're like, and they're all like, yeah, that's what he does, man. Yes.
And you're like, that's what this movie's about?
That's what this movie's
Oh,
about.
okay.
Okay, cool.
Cool.
Yeah.
And then it's not.
It's not. It's not even remotely about any of that stuff. So it's about witches. Yes.
Right?
Yeah.
That's the same. Look, you and I are the same way in this where two people, like again, it's you can walk out of the same theater and say, I just saw the dumbest movie of my life. It's like, what's this? It's like, well, it starts out as a bank robbery, right? And there's a guy, he's like
Yeah.
taping his hand up because there's a hole in it. It's like, this is going to be about a bank robbery.
Yeah. Right.
And then it's a vampire temple.
Right. And then they stop and get a drink in a place where they just don't belong. Yeah.
And the last shot of the movie is that it is attached to this big temple
You're right.
of vampires.
Of vampires.
And some people were saying, what a twist. And, and the rest of us were looking like, you fucking like this movie?
What did I just see? Yeah. I don't know, but I mean, there were other guys like the Shyamalan thing started coming along about that time
Oh,
too.
yeah.
It
Yeah.
was like what early '90s because his first thing was, of course, the
Airframe?
well, I'd never seen that, so I thought his
I'm sorry.
first one
No, I'm
was
sorry. Yeah.
fucking the Sixth Sense or whatever.
Oh, no, no, no. I
I
was
see
trying
dead
to think.
people.
I'm trying to think of that movie, that book about time travel. And it's
Oh,
something.
I don't remember
Anyway, but I apologize.
Airframe.
I thought I remember one that was.
That sounds familiar. I don't think that's that one though.
Okay.
Yeah.
My apologies. I
No,
didn't
you're
mean to
fine.
interrupt. It just came to mind.
It's okay. I don't mind being interrupted.
Well, you were talking about the Shyamalan thing, right?
Well, yeah, but I mean, he would do the same thing. It's like, oh, this movie's about this, and then all of a sudden it's about this, instead. I mean, in a good way for like the first couple, but I think he lost me when the fucking plants came alive and were like poisoning people. Remember that one?
Oh, The Happening.
The Happening.
Yeah.
I think that's
Yeah.
probably 2000s. Come to think of it.
I think so.
Yeah. It was just like, all right, you've jumped the shark, bro.
We got a weird situation where I don't know how those Hollywood meetings went because
I don't either.
they'd had him basically billed as essentially the next
It was the next Hitchcock.
Spielberg or the next Hitchcock. And the thing for me is I don't know how those meetings went. Where I don't know if he was so pigeonholed where at the meetings he say, okay, so I want to do a movie about this, this, and this. And he's presenting it very seriously. And then the movie people are saying, and then,
And then,
okay, so what's the catch? Like, no catch. I just want to tell a small intimate story about kids staying with their grandparents. It's like the grandparents aren't crazy. They don't try to put the kids in the oven or
the
anything.
vampires or
Right,
something.
the big twist here. Now, I can also see if that's the way things worked out, being like, okay, here's what we can do.
Stephen
All
King
right,
did,
all
yeah.
right, fine.
It's like,
Fine,
all
we
right,
can do
fine,
this.
yeah, we can do
Right.
it.
Or if he was the one that was in there and saying, like, I've got this great idea where it's this, this, and this, but
But
what's really going on here?
ha yeah.
And I get it. There are movies. This is sort of like the weird thing here is like when you look at movies that sometimes people claim were classics. There are things where you say like, all right, now once you know Soylent Green is people, like the rest of the movie doesn't matter.
No, it doesn't. And same thing with like, what's the one with the Watchers or no? What is it?
The Watchers.
No. It's Donald Sutherland.
Oh, okay.
What is that?
Oh,
No. Yeah, the Body Snatchers, Invasion of the Body
I want to
Snatchers.
say it's the Pod People, but I know it didn't have a dumbass name like that. That's a different movie. Yeah, yeah, yeah.
Yeah.
Look, I think that movie's awesome. I
I,
do.
I don't. I think it's fun to watch once.
That's yes, yeah, yeah.
It's like the missiles on your GI Joe aircraft carrier.
I get it. No, no, no. I totally understand. Yeah, it's
I did see something the other day where someone actually did find an unboxed USS Flag.
unboxed.
Unboxed.
Wait,
So
so
it was still in original, like the whole. I don't know how you tell because I don't know if it had cellophane in it or whatever.
oh, so it was in the packaging.
In package, yeah.
Oh, okay.
Okay.
So it was. Did they have the box?
Yes.
Oh, okay. So
The
it
whole
was.
thing had never been opened.
So it was unopened. Okay,
Right,
okay,
there we
okay.
go.
So
Yeah,
all right.
so yeah, and it sold for like 40 grand.
No idea how rare that is,
That's
man.
what they were saying in this article. They said, yeah, so this sat in some lady's garage because she owned a toy store. So for years, kind of
That.
thing.
Yeah, yeah.
And so of course it was part of an estate and somebody got a $40,000 check in auction for that thing. So
Let me. Okay, this is something that I would ask you about here too. Is so if you're gonna plonk down the $40,000 to buy that,
for an
right?
unboxed one,
Well, for a
yeah,
completely.
completely intact.
So the term on that is going to be it's going to be mint and sealed box, right?
Right, right. That's what it
Um,
was. Yeah.
uh, so the if you buy that right now in 2025,
Yeah.
right? Are you buying that for the purpose of snowballing that and putting it away for another 20 years,
No, I'm going to fire the
or
missiles.
is it? Are you paying $40,000 to either relive something
Yep.
from your childhood or do something that you wanted to do but you didn't get your hands on?
Yep. It would definitely be the latter.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's not. I'm not a Beanie Baby like snowball
All
investor
right.
guy. Yeah, so it would. If I got my hands on that, there would be a lot of wailing and gnashing of teeth because I would probably open it before I got to the parking lot.
I'm going to play with this at
I'm
your
gonna put
house.
the
This is
fucking
cool.
stickers on right now. Yeah. So- oh, I
Yeah.
fucked up some of the stickers. God.
Do you get your like tongue hanging out?
Yeah.
Yeah, I've
It's
wondered
like, get
about
out of
that.
my light, Dad.
Well, like say for example, I've had this talk with William before here. Like, so there are certain books that like if I got my hands on, if I got Amazing Fantasy 15 first appearance of Spider-Man, honestly, I would just take that thing, put it in a lucite case, hide it in a wall, and it's like, all right, in 20 years, I'm going to sell this for three times as much.
Yeah,
Right?
sure.
I am not going to take this thing out and fucking read it.
Right, right. Yeah, especially. Well, no. I mean, you can download that and
That
read
is
it. Yeah.
correct.
So,
Yes, that is
so
also
if you get
correct.
something that's actually valuable at that point in time, then sure, yeah. I mean, it goes in a safety deposit box or something somewhere, whatever, you know. But not a toy. So
And
yeah,
but at $40,000, you're willing to do that to.
dude, if I was willing to pay $40,000 for a fucking plastic aircraft carrier, that's granted 7 feet long, but whatever. I've got more than $40,000. This isn't like my fucking my mortgage payment here, kind of thing. It's like, well, we're not going to eat for 2 years
I'm
because
saying your wife is going to divorce you.
yeah, so, yeah, exactly. No, 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 man. This is if I've got like Elon Musk like money, just like yeah, I'll pay $40,000 for that.
Right. I'm dying laughing at this the other day. Just somebody clipped this with some of the Japanese VTubers. And these are all very cute people. They're very friendly. Some of them even have like this like one. She's got this like little kid princess persona, which I think is hilarious, right? But the six of them they're doing this little game show thing about
Mhm.
basically like questions that pop up. We're going to have the answers show up on screen and kind of laugh at the results. And I'm dying laughing because the question comes up, and it's basically, we've talked about this before, like the lottery question, right?
Mhm.
What's the first thing that you buy if you win? In their example, it was 1 billion yen, right? Which, I don't know, converts to like 600 million American donuts or whatever. It's just like whatever the exchange rate is. Um, but
Colorado Crumbs. Yeah,
bottle caps, yeah.
yeah, yeah.
Um, and the the like the princess one, the one that's the little kid. I'm looking at her screen, and everybody else has got like apartment, house. One person says stocks,
Mm.
and one person writes A10 Warthog. And
I'm down. Yeah.
they're asking her, it's like, what is this? And she's like, it's an amazing small fighter craft that is, it's little, but it has a lot of power.
Yeah.
And there's just something,
Yeah.
you don't know the person that's like, oh, you want to buy an A10, huh?
Please. Yeah. Get one for me, one for you.
I don't know, that's fantastic. But yeah, there's that weird sort of that aspect of things that like, is there anything from your childhood that you're like, man, I wish I could open this up again for the first time?
Mm. I don't know. I never had the flag, so we did have the F-14. That was pretty cool.
That was a great,
It was great. It broke, so
well, that the
the
variable wing.
fucking
Yeah,
yeah, it broke. So I actually had an F-15 that wasn't GI Joe, but it was metal, and it was probably as big.
that thing
Uh,
must have been like 3.5 pounds.
it was well, it was like aluminum. It wasn't that heavy.
Okay, all
Yeah,
right.
but it was made out of metal. But you could fit a GI Joe in it.
Oh,
So yeah,
that's cool. Yeah.
but it wasn't part of the franchise. But yeah, other than that, I can't remember too many things from my childhood that I just didn't thoroughly enjoy the shit out of that I need to relive.
Mm.
Um, yeah, or no major regrets. I guess the couple things that I would do is I actually like there'd be like a couple movies that I'd like to see again for the first time.
That's
You
a lot of it.
know,
Yeah,
and maybe in teenage years there'd be a couple more concerts that I'd go to.
that is a given. Yes. Yeah.
But I
Yep.
mean that would all be with hindsight. More so than anything else. So I don't know. I don't know if that really works that way. So
I don't think there's really a set limit on this. One way or the other, right? It's sort of um, you're using that knowledge to turn around and say, like, I wish I'd seen this movie, for the first time again,
mm-hmm.
just to be,
Just to experience it again.
yeah. The same thing goes, like, there are events that I wish that I could have seen that there's no possible way I could have gotten to, right?
Yeah, sure.
There's no way I could have seen Live Aid in 1985, but I would have
No.
loved to have seen it. I
Yeah.
wouldn't have appreciatated it. I would have been
No.
like, I want somebody to take me home right now.
I'm gonna go cry.
This is loud. I feel sick. All the people
Yeah.
are freaking me out. My dad sitting there in 1985 saying, I paid so much
It gets you all the way
to
out
get
there. Yeah.
all of us, like, your passports and shit. Like,
Right.
just to get you, like, mine was still good. I have to use it all the time.
Yeah.
But your mother's is expired.
Way
I had to
expired.
pay for that.
Yeah.
I had to get you fucking kids on here, right? You guys don't even like music, right?
Right.
And there's the hotel we're staying at over here, right?
Not cheap.
Right.
Never cheap.
And you
Yeah.
want to leave.
We want to go home and cry.
There's been one band.
There's one a band. Yeah.
And it's too loud and crowded.
Yeah. No, I can't think of too much, man. That I regret. I mean, some of the stuff that like I still have some of the stuff from my childhood that was important. So not too much of it, but a few things here and there. So that's enough for me. I don't think I'd take too much and actually like try and turn any of those into investments either.
Well, one of the other drawbacks on this here is remembering to have that perspective and look and say, like, if you're buying this, right? If you're getting into this, it is strictly for the nostalgia purpose alone, because in comparison to anything that there exists right now, this is crap.
Oh yeah, totally. Yeah.
Right? The things that actually passed for toys in comparison to now, which people don't give a fuck about,
No.
it's so lacking in quality, durability, any of the factors you would judge.
Depends. Yeah, it
Yeah.
depends on what it is. But yeah, I mean, there's like certain things. Like, yeah, you were talking about GI Joes the other day. They look like they're half melted from back in those
Yes.
days. They got
They
like
came out of the package that way.
hand painted fucking eyeballs on them that look like googly eyes.
Sometimes they missed.
Sometimes they missed. Yeah, exactly. So you got the Han Solo with the fucking lazy eye. So yeah.
Yeah.
Um, I mean, we still have a couple of those. My wife still somewhere she's got her job of the Hutt. We still have that guy somewhere.
Like with
The rolly thing,
the
yeah,
little
yeah.
set that I came
So
with.
I
Yeah.
mean, it's definitely been out of the. Yeah, that's not worth anything. I think our cat barked on it once.
What are you gonna do?
What are you gonna do,
What are you
man?
gonna do?
Yeah. So, but I mean, that's actually from when she was a kid, and so there's something about that that's irreplaceable. And then like I have every Lego that I've ever bought. I still have every last one of them. So because that was just that it was something that you did not give away or throw away when you were kids because they were expensive back then. They're still fucking expensive, but
I think they're more expensive now. Like
they're totally
if
more
you
expensive now. And they're like now there's like a Lego Renaissance going on where they're actually getting clever kits back together. But we went through like 15 years there where it was like, oh, I'll build this, and it's got like 9 pieces,
oh
and
yeah
they're all
yeah yeah
custom
yeah
molded for
yeah
this kit, kind of
yeah.
thing. It's like, all right, so that's like not exactly what I had in mind, but
Pirate ship was this piece in the back,
yeah,
this big ass piece in the front,
yeah.
and you kind of filled in the
You kind of
sides.
filled in the sides. Yep, I actually still have one of the pirate ships. So
But you did not build that hull. You did not build that.
no, no, it was a big old chunk of plastic.
Yeah.
Yeah. So like all the boats were like that. I got a bunch of the old boats. So
Well, castles were like that too. There's big chunks
I
that
never
were.
got that many of the castle ones. That's how if I could go back and actually buy like the King's Castle and stuff. I think I have the Knight's Castle, so it's a
Yeah.
smaller one,
Yeah.
but there's a bigger one. See, and those were really clever kits too. So because they were modular, so
They were modular, and I
yeah,
will say that the actual knight figures were
they were awesome.
awesome,
They were awesome.
fantastic. Those were
I got a
great,
shitload of those guys, man, with the
great,
little
great, great.
axes and swords and stuff.
Absolutely, and the helmets with
Hmm.
the visors and all that shit,
Yeah, I
fantastic.
got a couple of those. I got a bunch of the pirate guys too.
The pirate guys were good,
They
but
were
I think
fun.
the knights were actually
The knights were cool.
like better on that one. And of course, like so, I remember back then they'd also have uh like buckets. You could buy
You could
like
buy buckets. Yep.
the town set, and it would just have.
They would
It
have all
didn't
kinds.
have like pre-made stuff. Like it had a. If I recall, like those would come with a sheet of things that you could build,
Yeah.
but it wasn't. It wasn't like
Hmm.
you bought the thing and it's an A wing. It has parts
No,
for
no,
an
no,
A
no,
wing,
no. Yeah,
right?
yeah. I bought several of the buckets. They had a bucket and they had a briefcase.
The
So
briefcase. Okay.
yeah, it was a blue briefcase, or you could get a red one too that was a little bigger.
Where did you like? You had the big plates too, right?
I still have those. Yeah.
Where did those come from?
You,
What set did those come from?
so you'd have to actually go and get a Lego catalog. So
Get out
yeah,
of here!
yeah,
Really?
totally like an
That's
actual catalog, and then you'd so you could do it one of two ways. You could either send them money directly, or you could go to like this was back in the day where Lionel Playworld. If you gave them a Lego number, they would order it for you,
oh
and
my
yeah,
god! Really?
and then they
Okay.
call you like a couple weeks later. They say your plate's got here, so kind of thing. And then later you could actually buy some of them in the stores, but they were kind of hard to find. You had to go to like the bigger places, so in
I
order
was
to
gonna
find them
say
to
I
get some.
never saw any of those
Yeah.
on just a rack.
So there used to be a long time ago right down here, where Dickie's is, or no, I guess it's not Dickie's anymore. That barbecue joint down on Awesome Bluffs, down by the Goodyear down there.
Oh, okay,
So
yeah,
there used to
yeah.
be a toy store in there called the Clever Camel, and it was just run by this old lady, kind of thing.
No shit.
And
Okay.
my mom used to go there because she would give her old toys to sell, and then so she had an account with Lego, and so if we wanted something,
Oh, okay,
she was
okay,
like,
yeah.
"Yeah, I can order that for you, no problem." So yeah,
This is a different world, man.
it was a different world, and she could do that with all the major toys sets. Because back in the day, you had those, you had the GI Joes, you had the Transformers, you had like if she was the only place that I could go to where you could get like some of that weird German Playmobil stuff. So which was awesome.
Wasn't that shit like hella expensive?
Actually, it wasn't that bad, but they were really good sets, man. But yeah, I mean, there were certain things that got really stupid expensive.
Okay, yeah.
But yeah, we had a bunch of that. So for a bit there, because my brother and I really liked those sets. But then, I don't have any of those anymore. So,
I mean, that's fine. I mean, it doesn't sound like you really miss those
oh
or
no,
or yeah, yeah.
nope, nope.
and I presume this is the kind of stuff that you, especially at this point where your daughter is now, but there's this thing. My mom always had this.
She is her own person now, man. I mean, her tastes have like gone so far away from anything that I'm remotely interested in. So,
Well, that's it. Sort of. She's out of the oven now.
she is out of
Yeah.
the oven.
There's no.
She's cooling on the rack, man.
Yeah.
What's done is done.
Yeah.
So, I mean, we could dust some sugar on it. Might be better.
You might. I mean, if she comes to you at some point and says like, "Dad, there's something I've always wanted to do,"
Want
and
to
you're
play
like,
with model tray yet? No.
I was thinking like, I'm gonna do 45 pull-ups or something like that. You're like, okay, all right, then.
Like kids now, they try so hard to get out of gym. It's hilarious, man. So it's just like this awful. If you're not going to go into like athletics, I remember gym every year was fucking mandatory. So and you loved it. So
Well, there were parts that you loved, and sometimes there were parts that you hated.
well, even in like in middle school where you start doing junior high back then, you start doing rotations. All you had to do was suck it up for like 4 weeks before you got off whatever that rotation was.
Oh
So
yeah, yeah.
yeah, it was
Well,
like, yeah, I suck at basketball. I don't want to play it anymore. Then 4 weeks later, it's like, okay, you're not doing team sports anymore. You're doing weights. It's like, great. So yeah,
yeah,
yeah. Let alone in high school where you got to pick which one you went to. So
yeah. I did a year worth of bowling.
I did a year worth of bowling.
Yeah.
So my senior year. So I don't think I did a full year. I did. I think I did it for 6 months for one semester. Because I really liked the team sports. Um,
It was fine. It got me away from the school. It was fun. It was fun.
that was a big
Um,
reason to do bowling.
well,
So
and also you like bowling. Like if
yeah,
you
it
have
was
fun
fun.
with it. Right?
Yeah, it was fun.
There was something special to say.
That was when you could still smoke in all the bowling alleys.
Nobody had the guts to actually do that in class.
No, but they did have
Um,
the cigarette machine.
Yep.
Yeah,
Again, people just don't know. This is
that is a different time, man.
well, and this is to go into that here too. The same thing went with when you were talking about gym class. The thing was, it was also not. There was no version of like trying to get out of it in terms of like you just did it,
You just did it.
and there was no arguing about it, right? It was just
No.
sometimes you would say like because I saw plenty of people or in my condition where they was like I can't do this many. It's like do as many as you can,
Yeah.
right? Like you'd go to the I don't know if this is something that people still do. It's like so you're going to go to these 6 stations,
Oh yeah, we used to do that all the time.
right?
I have no idea how they do it now.
I have no clue. I
I
don't
have
know if
no
it's
clue.
station based. I don't know what
We
their
used to do
thing
that
is.
all the time, man. So go to like so many stations within so much time. Usually for like warm ups and stuff. I can't even remember.
Warm ups. Sometimes that was the whole thing. Sometimes it was
right.
like sometimes they'd have. So one thing I can absolutely tell you at the time was you'd go to like station one, which was like burpees, right? Where or a squat thrust. There was
Squat thrust.
burpees or something else where it's down, out, in, up, and
Yeah, that's basically kind of a burpee.
kind of. But burpees you jump after.
Well, yeah, and you also do a push up. So
Right,
yeah, burpees
right.
suck.
And you only do them if you're on the football team.
You only
dude.
do
It's-
them if
it's-
you're really
it's
serious
not.
about it.
That's not for gym class.
It's not
That's
for gym
that's
class,
that's
no,
for that's for intramural sports or
Right.
football. Yeah, but the first and foremost, the thing that you would see is at the stations. There's 2 sets of numbers:
Oh yeah,
boys
girls.
and girls.
Yep.
Right. If you went to and then you went into later things when it would have the. I remember in middle school they would have testing day where
Yep.
in the first days they would
Pull-ups
see
and bar
where you
dips.
are, right? They would test
Your
you
vert.
bench press, vert,
Bench
everything
press,
like that
yep.
because they're like,
How many sit-ups can you do till failure?
Yep.
So yep.
And I remember there were certain things that were different. Like for ladies, it wasn't about doing pull-ups; it was about doing how long can you hold a hang.
Hang test.
Yep. And it was in hindsight, it was a surprisingly high number of seconds. Now that I look at that, right? But yeah, and just looking at those things where I can't even imagine that is part of the curriculum now. I just
I
can't.
almost guarantee you it is. So I'd be surprised if it wasn't.
Really?
Yeah, I would. You got to do some kind of testing like that. So, I don't know. Like I've asked my daughter about it, but she hasn't done it yet in high school.
Mm.
And she didn't have to take gym last year, so which is weird, but whatever.
Uh,
Yeah, but then like she would tell me about doing testing where they do runs and then they do push-ups and pull-ups and stuff like that. And so I'm sure there's some kind of standard in there that they still do. I mean, because it used to be being a gym teacher, that was the cake job in school.
well, you had it because
Right.
you you killed like 4 people in Korea, or
Yeah, exactly.
like there was some distinguishment to your background that made it so that you weren't just an athlete. There was
Yeah, but I like with rare exceptions, and most of those were in high school. I think every gym teacher I ever had was an athlete of some kind.
well,
So
especially in high school.
there was one guy in high school who was definitely not an athlete, but he did coach the football team. Yeah,
Okay. The other 2 guys, though,
the other one
let's see
guy
if you
could rip
say
your fucking head off. Yeah,
the other 2 guys,
he
you
drove
would
that
say,
little tiny Volkswagen.
of course,
Yeah,
yeah.
this
Is
is
it
the
fun for
warranty.
you?
Here's what I'm gonna afford.
Well, he and Cummings were both. They would have like bench offs
Yeah, I remember
because those
Coach
dudes
Cummings.
were both
Yeah,
fucking huge.
yeah. Cummings was older,
He
so
was.
yeah.
He was.
He was also a swim coach too. No, that was a different guy.
I thought. Oh, well, they may have been
Yeah,
two different
yeah,
things
he's
because
a different guy.
I know who the swim coach was for the women's.
Oh, I don't know who that
That was
was.
Mrs. Rogers. She was the one that
Oh,
taught
I do remember her.
because she's the one that taught my swim class.
We had a guy, so in my swim
Oh,
class.
okay.
Yeah, I don't think it was Mr. Cummings, so it might have been.
It could have been. He just doesn't seem
He
like
wasn't
a
a swim
swimmer.
guy. Yeah, no. I remember Hammond. He did team sports with me several times. So yeah, several times. Because I never shied away from gym. I used to like it. So
No, I didn't have a problem with it. I mean, there were.
like in seventh grade, I didn't like it. So because Coach Johnson made me run like fucking everywhere,
Well, and this
and I've
was.
learned to hate running ever since.
There's okay. So there's something to be said about again, like if you go back on the like you're talking about getting out of class, whatever. You could. I'm not saying like could get out of, but there were certain situations where they knew where it's like, oh shit, this kid has pick like bizarre. It's like childhood like arthritis. So there were
Oh yeah,
things
yeah,
that they knew,
yeah.
but those were the only times that people were really getting out of stuff.
Well, unless you were hurt. I used to see people like
Oh
if you
yeah,
got hurt, yeah, then you get over to go and do like your fucking. Because this happened to me once. I can't remember what this instance was.
do you have a cast on?
No, I didn't. I've never broken a bone. So
I mean, either.
yeah, I think it was. It was at one point in time where I was really sick, but like not sick enough to stay home, or maybe I had missed enough school where I couldn't anymore or something.
You didn't have like mono or something, did
I
you?
never got mono, but I do remember I did get one bad stint of pneumonia, so that might have been it.
That could explain it.
But I had to go on like light duty in gym for like 3 months, so it sucked because like first of all, the teacher was a dick about it, even though like all the doctors were like, yeah, you're not allowed to go outside right now.
Right.
And so, yeah, I had to do these worksheets for a bit,
That. Yep.
and
Yeah.
and yeah, and there was other kids who were like the walking wounded, who had to do those too.
Yeah.
So, but it was okay. It was just lame. And he was the only coach that I ever had any problems with. I mean, guy at elementary school, Mr. O, he was amazing. So he was the coolest guy.
Yeah. As long as you didn't piss him off, because there were a few guys
I'm
that I
sure.
knew that.
Yeah.
Um, well, all right. I'm just gonna say it. They were problem children,
Yeah, yeah.
and those kids that managed to piss him off. If you follow the trajectory of where their lives went, I mean, I can say certain things where, all right, I'm just going to start with did time in 8th grade for raping his stepsister.
Yeah, okay.
So
Well, I'm pretty sure I know where that guy is now.
so when I'm
Yeah.
saying like it takes a special kind
Can
of
narrow it
piss
down to two pretty good. Yeah. I think
to
I can
piss
narrow it
Mr.
down to
Owens.
two. Yeah.
I'm like, I don't think that's a Mr. Owens thing. That was-
No, 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 no. No, he was so cool to us. He knew my mom from somewhere. So,
Did your mom kill people in Korea?
I must have. I
Yeah.
don't know. Yes. No, it had something to do with Michigan or something like that. So
Oh,
they knew
okay.
each other somehow. And so he would come over to our house every now and then, especially when it was like fucked up snow days. Because he'd get in his little car and he'd drive kids down to our house, you know. So,
Oh,
yeah, when
oh,
we got
okay,
like let
yeah,
out early and stuff. That was
yeah.
back in the day where you could do that shit.
Again, y'all don't fucking know this.
You do not know,
This is
man.
a
Yeah.
different story,
It's a
man. Yeah.
different era. So,
And, all right, so I will also flip this. I won't just paint this as rose tinted glasses. What I will say is the reason that they changed some of those rules is for a good
oh,
reason
it's totally for a
because
good reason.
yeah,
Some of those guys were bad. I remember when our principal at elementary school brought a gun to school. And got,
beg your pardon,
yeah, he brought a pistol for, it was like Halloween. And so he wanted to dress up as a cowboy. He brought a fucking loaded 45.
loaded.
Yes. So it was back in the days when he was like, okay, well, you probably shouldn't do that. Nowadays, you'd be like, dude, you're going to jail, man.
Right. You start as like, okay, I get it, I'm fired. It's like you're not just
You're
fired.
not just fired,
You're
man.
double decker
Yeah,
fired.
yeah,
You're
yeah.
fired for like freedom, dude.
Right, yeah.
You're
Freedom fired. So yeah, but I mean, there was a lot of fucked up shit that happened to people back then too, man. So I don't know. I was thinking about it like the other day, and I don't know why, but I've been on this thing lately, and here's one of your YouTube words that you can't say. Is well, we'll just stick with unalived.
okay. There you go. Right.
So, and I was just looking at statistics based upon like you know service members and their time in which they served, conflicts in which they served, and their suicide rates. And
Oh,
it is like right now, it is worse than it's ever been for any war, including Vietnam and stuff like that. And I was thinking, man, what the fuck is going on with like? And I mean, these guys are older, all right. We're not talking about Gen Z here, all right.
right.
So we're not talking about the kids now. We're talking about guys who are in their 30s and their 40s, or maybe their late 20s, maybe. No, not even because 9/11 was 25 years ago, so or 24 years ago. It's fucking crazy,
Yeah.
dude. But yeah. So anyway, yeah, we're not talking about the kids now. We're talking about these middle-aged dudes who have this just enormous suicide rate. And
Where would they have served?
in Iraq,
Iraq one or two?
two.
Two. Okay.
Yeah. No, no, no. Not one. We weren't old enough to go to one.
You and me, no, but
No, we
I
would have
was.
been we
Yeah.
would have been pretty prime range to go to two. So
Yes.
if I had gotten in, I
Okay.
definitely would have gone.
Yeah.
So because I probably would have been an E4 and E5 by that point in time. So I would have gone. Like no problem. So but still. And then I was thinking back in like I knew at least three people who killed themselves in that I knew personally growing up. And I was like, huh, I wonder if that's different. And then you go and you kind of dive into it, and yeah, it is, man. There's something about kids of the 80s and the 90s that just have a higher suicide rate than just about any previous generation. So, and then it's up there, like the millennials are pretty up there too, but then it like lately it's dropping off, you know?
Well,
So there was something weird about that time frame where people just didn't fit in and eventually decided to unalive themselves.
well, it's a weird thing. And again, like you and I have talked about this before when it comes to generational theory and all this other stuff. And you know, I won't. Here's the thing: I've kind of turned around on this a little bit, where it's not that I believe in it or I see this as particularly a useful metric per se.
Right.
But I do say that there are certain tendencies that happened where there were commonalities around that time that they don't necessarily shape what everyone does.
No,
But
but I think they shaped contours, you know?
yeah, yeah, not to the point where I'd say like, okay, so with an Xer expect this. With a millennial, it's like
No, you can't
I
do
don't want
that.
to paint with that broader brush, but there are certain commonalities, and yeah, there's something weird about um, before it's weird, before even the X moniker came out, right? They started out first being called quote unquote latchkey
Yeah, I
kids,
remember that.
right?
Yeah.
That was the first tag that these guys got here, and you
That's
know,
because X didn't come out till they came out with that millennial bullshit. So to tell you the truth, there's those two guys who wrote that fucking book. So
I can't. I really
yeah,
that I don't remember if that's where they coined it from.
yeah, that's where they coined it. It's back. It's like it's early '90s when they wrote that thing.
Okay,
Yeah.
that would make sense. Yeah, but I remember that being the term, and it was so. If your formative years were essentially right, because the turnaround they say is that so you start with this latchkey generation where when they grew up and they were this was the first expectation that mom and dad were going to be working. So
When they're not having, those parties where you swap car keys.
in this neighborhood,
Not in this neighborhood, man. So, but that was
maybe in California.
yeah, no, that was the thing.
If you knew the people around here, you'd have to tell me.
I don't know who they
You'd
were.
have to spill the tea on that one.
Yeah.
But yeah, so you have this group that essentially their thing was, all right, so I have to fend for myself at a young age,
Mhm.
right? And it's not as though you'd have a couple sometimes two, three, four kids, right? Where the oldest one is sort of taking
Yeah,
care of
all
the
the
youngest
families were
ones,
bigger back then.
that kind of stuff, right?
I mean, if like your family, my family, there were two of you.
That was the expectation,
That was kind of the standard, you know. I
right?
mean, if you only had one, it was kind of like, oh, what happened?
Right,
But if you
right.
had like four, it was like, all right, time to shut off. You go to the doctor and get clipped, but kind of
Well,
thing.
it was
But that wasn't uncommon. So and now like it's awful, dude. So I mean, all the kids are fucking single family. It's single. I mean, my daughter is,
yeah,
So, but
yeah. But if I
a lot of
recall,
that's by choice.
biology sort of made some of that choice for you
Fucking
too.
chemotherapy made that choice for us.
Well, I mean that. So that was the final signature, right? That's but
That was when you put the bread back in the package.
right.
It's
But if I
like
recall,
this has
yeah,
got to
yeah.
go out.
If I recall, there were difficulties prior to that as well, right?
No,
No.
she just didn't want to.
Oh,
So,
okay.
mm-mm.
Um, but
No, we never had to do any of the IVF or anything like that.
no,
But
not
man,
like
I
that.
know a
But
shitload of people who are doing that. So, I mean, a lot. So, and it is expensive. So,
it's
yeah, I mean,
very
it's
expensive.
probably just like where kind of my cohort is in terms of like my colleagues and stuff. But fucking hey, man. So, dude is spending some money on that shit.
Yeah, that's fine. There are, if you're at that position, there are things that do make me concerned. I'm like, this shit seemed just to happen naturally back then.
Well, it happened a lot younger too.
That okay, yeah. So,
Yeah.
all right, what I've heard here too is you're right. Is the it's not like a hard cutoff point, but it's earlier than you think it is. Where you say that you see like actually 31 and above,
Yeah, it's really tough.
it like drops off precipitously.
Yeah, let alone people who get to like 35 or 40.
Yeah, yeah,
See, those are some of the people that I know who are
yeah.
trying to do this, and it's like, you spent what?
Well, actually, that's one of the things that they're pushing for right now is making that covered.
Oh, under.
Yes.
Oh man, I don't know if that would actually help or hurt that.
Well, I mean, I guess if you could do it for free, but I guess here's the problem
Well, it ain't
is
free. Question is who pays for it. So and
well,
how
all
much?
right, all
Yeah.
right, all right, all right. So yes, okay. So I got $1 million policy on this dog, but I'm still if at $1 million, I still have to cover 20% of that. So it's not
Right.
free, but that being
Well,
said, it's just,
yeah, but I mean the whole process of IVF, the process itself is expensive.
well, they got
So,
to scrape you first.
well, yeah, of course,
Yeah,
yeah.
yeah.
So there's a lot that goes involved. And one of my friends over at the Eola Yacht Club was telling me about it the other day.
Oh, do
But
they have it done?
there, it's not working. So yeah,
Well, it's not guaranteed either. It's
no,
not.
no. That's what she was getting frustrated with, and I want to guess about 42.
You know what's funny is
Yeah,
every now and then, like back then,
it would
you
happen.
you would have that mom that's like,
what the fuck?
I'm having.
That happened to one of my buddies, man. So he was graduating high school, and all of a sudden, his mom says, "Guess what? You can have a little baby brother." So,
You get that like Darth Vader. How
how
is that
is that
possible?
possible? Yeah. Well, and it was hilarious too because his dad actually had a vasectomy and
That's
it
right.
had grown back. Yeah,
Didn't they add another level to their house with the lawsuit of that one or something?
something like that. Yeah. Um, yeah, and so he had a baby brother when he graduated high school. So um,
It did
it
happen
did
from time
happen,
to time,
but I
but
mean,
that
it
shit
is
was
so
rare.
anecdotal, man. It
Yeah.
is rare. I mean, and nowadays it's just like, I mean, so I've been teaching long enough. I've been tracking some of my students in their 30s, man, and very few of them have kids. So very few of them.
I'm telling you, we
It's
do.
different, man.
There does need to be so that it cannot just be financial and it can't just be culture. There has to be something else going on here. That's.
I can't put my finger on it, man. I don't know what it is.
I have theories. I mean, but this is the kind of stuff that.
Well,
Uh,
I mean, kids aren't that expensive, so that's the thing about like everybody. Oh my God, it costs $100,000. No, it don't. So it ain't that expensive, man. So
there is that. I mean, there's also look. There's no two ways around it. This is actually statistically like you can go ahead and prove this here is like more so than ever. People are just not coupling. They are not.
oh,
They're
that's definitely true. Yeah,
that's. I
that is
mean, I
definitely
would say
true.
that's
Yeah,
point number one is
yeah, that's definitely
you
true.
can't get to that stage without getting to that stage,
Yeah, no,
right?
that's definitely true.
And it is harder than it's ever been. I think this is sort of like when you talk about this the 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 new revival at the end where they're like, I think the answer is church. Right? where you look down and you say like, well, you see, I made this call because my parents, God bless them, were sodomites and degenerates. And
It is kind of happening. Yeah, there's a lot of people who look at their parents and be like, "What the fuck, man?" So,
yeah, this seems like the only good way to turn. And
there's a lot of things to that, though, man. I mean, it's like
so many factors.
like social media is probably the biggest one. We just fucking delete that, but whatever. So it's not going. That cat's out of the bag. But I was trying to like just catalog some of the things that are fundamentally different about that. One of them is like expectations. That has changed in
Yes.
some respects. Another one is like, social media has definitely made it difficult. The kids today are extremely risk adverse because they've seen bad things happen to good people on social media. Um, I mean, they don't even fucking use it. So, I mean, they'll have like an Insta account, but that's about it. So,
I would not listen. I would not be opposed to basically restricting social media until the age of like 16 or 17,
yeah, I don't know if that's
like by
doable.
law.
Yeah, well, there's a guy, John Heights, he's been running around saying that for 3 fucking years. Read his book; it's actually pretty good, but I don't think that's not a panacea type answer, or because there's more to it than that, man. That just like I see it kind of like constantly, with certain people. There's like certain levels of I don't want to call it social anxiety. I don't think that's right. I think it's just more so like fuck it, I don't want to do this, which is a little different.
Right. It's
Yeah,
it's sort of akin when they tried to coin the term Great Resignation. It didn't like completely land. It was,
yeah, it was a little different.
but there is sort of a look. There is sort of a fuck it that
There is a
like
can't win, don't try kind of attitude
there
that's
is,
going on.
and I
So
certainly here's the thing is I cannot. All right, I can only speak to certain things that have been prevalent in society for a very long time, right? And I cannot tell you it is finally starting to reverse. It is finally starting to adjust itself, right? But there's this thing about like you cannot have 25 or 30 straight years of telling men to leave women alone
yeah,
and not have that be the expectation. You can find countless people
hmm
where it's like women that will actually say like, okay, So the way that they'll break it down, okay, and this is where the trouble kicks in, right? Is they'll say like, so I get unwanted attention, but I also don't get attention. What happens here
Yeah,
is, and again, I'm not.
it's almost bimodal data.
Well, the
Yeah.
problem here is there is a certain subsect of people that still will catcall women and follow them around, and basically.
Oh yeah, oh dude, there's a piece of porn culture out there right now that is just absolutely fucking toxic. So
Well, I'm not talking about that.
no, but that's where that comes from.
Oh
So
no, 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 not
no,
at
no,
all.
no, that's a big chunk of that, man. The whole idea that there's like a certain objectification that's just accepted by all women when it's not. You
But
know.
it's not even that. It's that these are cultures that are not American.
Well, okay, that's not a huge problem here. So
Well, no, when it comes to when they say unwanted attention,
yeah.
that's where it comes from
Well, yeah, and where do you see that the most?
in the cities.
Fucking online, dude.
Well, that's
Yeah.
that's fuck all that. I'm not even talking about. Yeah, that's
Yeah,
a
but
different
I mean,
story
if you don't
entirely.
live in a major city and you don't grow up in a situation where you realize that, okay, so those guys are just losers, I mean, you don't know
That's just
any
what they
better.
do.
Yeah, I know.
That's just what they
It's
do.
never been any different, man. I mean, but the thing about it is that there's a reluctance to actually engage in any kind of like risk. So, because like, and I mean, we can take it all the way back to bike helmets if we really want to, but I'm not going
If
to
we
do that.
must,
If we must, I'm not going to do that. So, but I mean, like some of that is, of course, all the dangers that are associated with like interacting with fuckers online.
one
So,
hundred percent,
yeah, and
one
so,
hundred percent.
this is why I know William doesn't agree with it. I think we should burn Discord down. It's- I mean, he's right. They just make a new one, but
They would the thing like so Discord. What you need to do is honey trap it. I mean
well,
that's
I'm sure the FBI is all over that
right,
motherfucker.
right.
So, and
That's
if they're not, I guarantee you, some of the major police jurisdictions are. So, I mean, they like even here in this town, they have a specific unit within the police department, which basically those guys troll online,
yeah, yeah.
to look for this shit. But I mean, the problem with Discord is the land of a thousand doors, and so you got to get invited into the right one in order to actually find that stuff. And it's different than Reddit and stuff that's been in the past. So I have no fucking clue, man. And but I mean, like the kids these days, I mean, they're taking kind of the right approach to it, where they're just like, well, fuck it, I don't need to be on that.
Well, so here's the again. This is
They don't have any illusions about the dream of the internet that you and I were like sold on,
sort of promised.
sort
Yeah,
of promised
yeah,
in those glory days that you were talking about,
right.
and fucking something awful forums. They don't know anything about that. They never will know that.
No, I mean they'll hear stories.
They'll hear
That's it.
stories, but that's like landing at Jamestown in
That's
1629,
correct.
the
Yeah,
day after they started it. It ain't going to be the same, man.
you showed up when the settlement was done.
Done. Yeah.
Yeah,
Right.
you weren't
You
here.
weren't here, and so you missed out on that. And then, well, I don't believe in your vision. So, okay, fine.
But that's fine.
It's fine,
Okay, so
man.
there's the wilderness. So we're gonna go ahead and make your
Go make your own, and
go,
that's kind
go
of
ahead and
what they're
make
doing.
Jefftown over there. That's fine.
That's kind of what they're doing, man.
Well,
So, I mean, I see that in some respects, but then like others of it is just, I mean, there are elements to it that are just so they really are, and toxic is the right word, okay, because they instill in people, well, look at what this guy did by the time he's your age, okay. I'm not going to be able to ever get so I'm never buy a house. I'm never going to have a decent job. I'm never going to be able to have a dog, kind of stuff. And that is just, I mean, that is just poison, for people who are in their like, I mean, like the age group that I deal with, or even a little bit younger, because that was the thing that's fundamentally different. Because I mean, you and I got told, well, if you just do well in this, you're gonna, you know, like do well in math, and you can be a fucking nuclear scientist or whatever, And there was never this
mm,
thing where it was like, all right, well, your parents have it made, and there's no way you're going to be able to eclipse that. So, just mooch off them. Yeah. I mean, it was very much, it was like, you're 18, you're out of the fucking house, man, unless you're going to school. And if you're going to school, well, that's great, but you're still going to pay me rent. You know,
No,
kind of thing.
yeah,
And so
yeah,
I mean, and so, but there was never this thing that, oh, you're all fucked, and so, can't win, don't try. Can't win, don't try was something that was very, very related to, us growing up at that time, but it applied to a very small thing. It was like, okay, so you got this teacher who's a bitch, and you just, okay, can't win, don't try, kind of thing, or you've got, like, just can't wait till I move out of my mom's house,
yeah, yeah.
kind of thing. That can't win, don't try. But now it's like, well, just fucking go lay down and die somewhere, kind of thing that you see on TikTok and stuff like that. I think some of this is my conspiracy side. I think some of that's actually intentional, but some of it's just it's absolute just it's just the algorithm picks it up and throws it in your face pretty fast too because people look at it. So
Well, I'm with you in a lot of this here, and all of it. It makes sense. There's some things where I'm like that. I believe it. I can't back it up, but it makes sense, right? I mean, I can't. The things that I can back up with data here, right? It's going to be the question of where the cause is from. I've talked about this before here. When you talk about how it changed, and you can look at the data on this, you say, you can look at that chart. You can go to that internet video that starts at like 1955, right? And then just climbs like this, and it shows like, oh, what was the most used internet browser by year, and then you see
1955.
maybe,
It was Magnavox,
but you know what I'm talking about. The ones where you watch the years go by, and you see like, oh wow, look at Netscape, and then you see like,
Oh, the bar charts.
right?
Yeah, those are fun.
All right, so when they put those out here and they talk about how people used to meet their wife, right?
Oh yeah, so
Right.
it's all in school. So
Well, yeah,
family,
it was school, family, church, work, that kind
church,
of stuff right here, and then
which was almost guaranteed to be. So
right,
100%.
and then eventually it comes to like, so here's all the bars, and then online it goes like this.
Oh yeah,
Right
it goes bananas.
now, again, I've pointed this out to you before here, and this is just what the data says. Is it's like, all right, so if you have a visual, this is a thing. This is where
Oh yeah,
it's at a visual. Like if the guys will go ahead and they'll date like 60% of the women on there. The women want the top five.
yeah. Well,
That's just a fact,
that's totally a fact. Yeah, they
right?
want the top five because quite honestly, if you're going to do that, you might as well shoot the moon. And the other thing is like this is something that's actually really interesting about that too, because I was looking at some of that data too.
Yeah,
It's like top 2% of the guys get like 95% of the women.
100%.
That's crazy, man.
Well,
So
and that creates two things,
yeah,
right? Two big problems. Number one is some point here, all right, because the actual split doesn't lie. Okay, at some point,
Mhm.
women have started overvaluing their stock a lot.
Yeah,
Okay, there's no two ways around that. The other thing here is when they talk about, man, guys are shitty. It's like you're right because dudes
those
that
top
get
2%,
2%,
they
that
are
it's really the top
They are
5%.
awful fucking people.
They're gonna because
They're awful fucking people.
when you have that many people beating down your door, you
Yeah.
don't have to be nice to them.
No, they are absolutely truly. I mean, so there's a couple podcasts that I watch that touch on this topic every now and then,
Yeah,
and specifically like childbirth and rearing and stuff like
yeah.
that. But I mean, they're good, but they're just pointing this out that there's this like what's the opposite of virtuous cycles, like the doom loop or something like that.
I don't know if that's the term, but it sure does
Something
work.
like that,
Yeah.
where so if the top 2% of the guys are shitty to 95% of the women, 95% of the women learn that all guys are shitty.
That's correct.
And so this is that can't win, don't try kind of thing.
Right.
So I don't know, man. Online
It's
dating.
it's a negative reinforcement loop.
There we go.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's a negative
Yeah.
reinforcement cycle. And so there's a lot of that going on right now. Yeah, but I mean, like before like online dating, I mean, fuck, I remember when you like, you had like the singles page in the paper. They were 100% local,
This is correct.
Yeah, and
Yeah.
so now
Yeah.
you just can't do that anymore, man. So, and then the same thing. There's a reason why in the United States it's absolutely taboo, except for in certain industries, all right, to actually include a photo of yourself on your fucking resume.
Yeah. Yeah.
But that is something that's like basically limited to the United States alone.
It's either the
Okay.
headshot job or it's not.
It's either a headshot job or not. But you go to just about anywhere else, except for maybe parts of Europe. But if you go to Japan, you go to China, you go,
Yep.
anywhere else, you're expected to have that headshot. Because that's basically what they're going to judge you on. and see if you're a good fit for the company, kind of thing. But now, like, I mean, you can just sit there and right swipe on people all fucking day,
Oh yeah, yeah.
and why take a gamble on someone who might turn out to be really good for you when, your dream dude might be four swipes away.
Well, and this is yeah.
And
That's
that's terrible, man.
that's
So,
that's a big part of the problem here. Is and again, I don't. It'd be foolish of me to look at there and say like I blame media because I don't. Media rides trends. It doesn't create them per se, right? You can have a
well,
little
media is
bit of.
downstream from culture. So, yeah,
I mean, sometimes you have some influence, but it's not like
true.
some dude is going to sit there and say like, or some dumb girl is going to be sitting there and say like, I started this, as a as a person from the Gina Davis Institute, I implemented this, and this has been going on. It's like
Tina Davis.
that's a real thing, by the
Yeah.
way. That's the leading source when it comes to you talk about you have to have this many people in a movie or a production, and it has to be presented this way. You can't present a Muslim woman
Yeah,
as
yeah, yeah,
right.
yeah.
You can only present these in a positive light, etc.,
I don't
etc.
think that stuff's gonna last much longer.
It's on its way up, but
Yeah.
the problem there is the place that needs to be impacted by it most is going to be the one that holds out the longest
Yeah, they're the last in line.
because they actually believe this shit.
Yeah, I know. Yeah,
They
you're
actually
gonna find
believe that
your actual fellow travelers there.
right. These are the fucking idiots that are over here saying like, this is how we actually promote positive change in the world. It's like, no, you
No,
don't.
you don't.
No,
No.
you actually scare off audiences. They're tired of your shit. But yeah, there's this thing where if you have that much of a discrepancy, and the whole listen, we came from our entire messaging from the 80s and 90s, and you have movies like fucking Mask and shit like this. It was basically, it's not about what's on the outside,
Oh
it's what's
yeah.
on the inside that counts, right?
Yeah, the
That
last
is,
movie that did that was Shallow Hal, and people look at that now and they're horrified by it.
yeah.
But it's like, yeah, but that's a good message, man. So
You understand that he's not the hero of the story, right?
you should, but not everybody does.
Right, right.
Yeah.
I get it. There are times out there when you say, man, you are rooting for the wrong guy.
Oh
You,
yeah, you guys are on the wrong side of this thing. Yeah.
Exhibit A would be fucking Fight Club, where you're like,
That guy's the bad guy.
he's not the hero.
He's the bad guy.
Right,
He
right.
is the guy who flies planes into buildings.
Now you can think about
You can
this,
think about
but
it.
you got to understand,
Right.
right? And that's sort of the thing here is whatever the messaging has been, where boys have been pushed down and girls have been pushed up, is not working. And I'm not saying that in terms of like societal like place. There are things where again, there are certain things that they have to give up on. They have to say like, look, we have had our thumb on the scale for STEM shit for women for a long time. They are not getting in because they don't want to. It's not that people are keeping them out.
No,
Nobody is saying like you're not welcome here.
no,
Right?
I don't think that's going on.
It hasn't been that like I will tell you that when my mom was an engineer,
Totally.
there was some of that,
Yeah.
right?
Well, I mean, all that stuff, affirmative action, Title IX, things like that. Those came from places where they needed to be implemented.
100%.
But like already, like affirmative action is fucking cooked. So
It's done its job.
it's done its job.
It's mutated into the thing that it shouldn't be.
Well, and nobody does it anymore. I mean,
They're
well, if you own a pirate college, fuck it, whatever. You can do that. I don't care.
no fuck them.
So,
They shouldn't be doing it either.
I don't give a shit. So as long as they're not getting my tax dollars, which is what we're fighting about right now, that's okay. If you want to have a racist college, have a racist college, man. So, just put that sign out front. So but then like even with some of the like the STEM stuff and I mean shit, man, I can tell you all kinds of stuff off camera that's been going on behind the scenes now, and it's just, I mean, like all that stuff's just melting away because, yeah, number one, there's not the interest in it. Number two, okay, there's no longer money behind it, which is really what you do if you want to actually affect some change, and that's absolutely what the administration has been doing lately. And then number three, I mean, it fucking pisses people off when you tell them that, hey, you only got in here because you have this between your legs or this much melanin in your skin. So, because quite honestly, that is just, I mean, that's that, pat the kid on the head and be the white hero kind of thing again. People just don't like that anymore, man, especially the recipients of it. So,
Well, I mean,
kids hate that stuff these days, dude. They're so fucking sick of it.
right. So
So,
there's nothing. All right. So again, I've seen this argument a million times over. It's been the things that pop up on like campuses and stuff here when they talk about um, your skin color affords you things that mine does not. It's like, what?
Yeah,
One,
everybody knows the
be
argument.
specific.
Yeah.
What have you not had access to?
Yep.
I mean, because this is the same thing. So I have, okay, I'm not, I'm not in love with this. I think it was funnier than anything else. But I had a tweet go kind of nuclear there for a minute, right?
Hmm.
Incredible engagement metrics, really spread. Got retweeted a million times, right? Um, and it was about there's this picture of there's this picture of like three Native Americans and um, they're flipping off Mount Rushmore.
I think I saw this.
Right,
I
right.
think I saw this one. Yeah.
And I remember saying something like, "Yes, this will improve your SAT scores." Now,
Oh, come on,
now
dude.
it wasn't just that. It was the follow up what some asshole wrote me, where some guy was like, and who put them in this position? And my answer was long answer themselves, short answer themselves. Now, here's the thing: is
Hmm.
I understand that the Native American situation is shitty. Okay, but I will also say this: I will say you know this as well as I know this. There is no other group in this country that actually has sovereignty, right?
Oh yeah.
And I can tell you, there are dozens upon dozens of programs out here
Oh
where
yeah.
that if you show even a little bit of interest, do you want to go to college?
Oh,
Okay.
we got you, man. We got
We
you.
will take care of you a
Yeah.
million ways. Don't tell me you don't have opportunity. Like you have opportunity. And I mean, not just, and when I talk about, again, having worked on these places,
Yeah.
things where they the actual like conditions of the job or we are out there is like you have to hire this many people from the
Yep.
res. You're going to start a six-figure job,
Oh
right,
yeah.
with
Yeah.
no experience,
Dude,
right?
a lot of government work is like that too. If you show up and if you actually meet qualifications for certain things, they've got money that they can basically staple, on top of your salary there. And, I mean, then it becomes cost neutral job for the employer. It's crazy how much stuff there is up there.
And
The thing that I notice about those guys, because I have seen a few of those guys go through the system, all right, is there is definitely this, and I mean, so they used to say this about the black community in some respects too. It's just this culture of low expectations. So a lot of them, like a couple of guys, like I've known two, who did that. All right, and the only reason why they did that was because not me, but one of my colleagues looked at him and said, "What the fuck are you doing here?" Kind of thing. He was like, "You could go here." He's like, "I didn't even think to apply there." And it's like, let's get you applied, kind of thing. And that guy's career went nuclear. So it can, I mean, the resources are there, but yeah, there's just this like, oh, well, who are you, Mr. Fucking smarty pants, gonna go take the white man's money, blah, 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 kind of thing. They face a lot of that, man. And it's bullshit. So, I mean, I run into that with a lot of my Latino students too. It's like, well, who are you? You're not going to come work in a restaurant. It's like, no.
you mean from within the community itself?
From within the community itself. Yeah, not
Right.
not from the school.
I say
Yeah, no, 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 no. From within, like my mom won't let me do that because I need to go wash windows with her and her business, kind of thing. It's like, fuck that, you do.
it's like, do you want to do that?
No. The
Okay.
answer is almost
So
always no. Do you want to go back to the reservation and slide slowly into alcohol and drug abuse? No.
what is the thing? We couldn't keep those
I
employees.
know. Yep.
That's that was part of it. I
I
mean,
know.
and to add to your point there, right? That's the other component of this is you also cannot have people in authority with those kind of low expectations, right? That
No.
is a that is a, all right, man.
That's where you set up the grifter wagon, man.
It's the
Yeah,
grifter
it's the
wagon, and
grifter
again,
wagon. We've discussed this many times.
this was the thing where I'm like, I'm at an impasse here with this, guys. You got to break it down into one of 2 points. I'm like, all right, so I'm sorry. I'm going to lay it out here. I'm like, you do not have the monopoly of being mistreated in this country, right?
Oh no.
Right. And what you need to understand, I'm like, okay, because I do have other groups that I can compare this against. All right. I can say, arguably, you could say that the Chinese were possibly even worse
Oh,
treated
oh my God, yes.
than slaves.
People just don't understand that, man. Unless you're coming from California or something like that, and then we don't talk about that. We don't talk about the fact that you basically built about 90% of the state with slave labor.
You don't call it that?
Oh no, because they did get paid.
Right,
Yeah.
right. Now, what I can confirm here is they have looked at the data on this and they say, all right, so in the communities that the Chinese formed after the horrible treatment that they had,
Mhm.
what I can tell you is there was virtually no crime.
Nope.
I can also say that these people were wildly uneducated. That is not the case
They're
now.
ridiculously successful. So
And that's the thing is I say, okay, so what you're telling me is that the tests themselves are racist, but how did they figure it out?
yeah,
Because their language is as backwards to this one as any of yours were,
yeah.
right? So you're either telling me that A, you can't actually rise to those standards, or B, there is some sort of genetic defect that prohibits you from doing this. Which of these do you want it to be?
I don't think
Because
they're.
there's absolutely no excuse for not succeeding.
I don't think it's either of those, man.
I don't think it is either.
No, of course not. It's very straightforward. It's like it's just the grifter wagon in operations. Like how do we
Absolutely.
actually and dude, come on, man. This is not new. So it's not
But you
new.
can't lie about it either.
Of
You will
course they
never fix
can.
it
They
until
keep
you
fight. They're
stop
not
lying
interested in
about it.
fixing it, dude.
Well,
So it doesn't keep the grifter
that's
wagon going.
fair
Come
enough.
on, man.
Right.
I mean, like, I mean, you know that you've been on reservations. You've seen the grifter wagon in operation. So, I mean,
Look, yeah,
it works for the people who it works for, and those people are the people who actually like, they're the ones out there screaming the loudest on this. And the same thing's true. You go around and you ask people about reparations. It's a fucking grift. Everybody knows it. Okay, nobody's willing to say the quiet part out loud. But if you get someone who's like, "Fuck that," you know what? Welfare has ruined 2 generations of my family. I don't want any more of that. I want a job. I want an education. I want a neighborhood where I'm not going to get shot at every day. I was like, "Oh, what are you doing?" I mean, traitor. Blah blah blah.
well, you want to live with the whites now.
Yeah,
So,
exactly. So
well, not exclusively.
not
I mean,
exclusively,
you
no,
could
but
come too.
I don't want to fucking live here anymore. Oh, you're giving up on your people. It's like God. I mean, I've seen so many podcasts with people
It's
who make
ridiculous.
these
Yeah.
make these arguments like this about like tradition and fucking family values and oh you got to be loyal to the neighborhood and stuff. It's like fuck all of that. Okay, if your neighborhood treats you like shit, move.
I would also,
Fucking move.
I would
Take
also
your
put
family
this.
with you.
Okay,
Yeah.
this is the point that I've been making for a long is I argue that the problem is the culture because again, my parents would have been the first ones to tell me like
Yeah.
get out of here
Yeah.
if it's not good. They're the first ones to say that, right?
Yeah. But culture is not something you can change. So
Well, you can.
it takes generations to change it, man. It takes generations because
Well, and that you have to want to.
well, exactly, and everybody who participates in that culture who has to want to do it too, because culture is a shared collective thing that we create together. Okay, and you can have people who drive culture from time to time, and I mean they can nudge it in one direction or another, but ultimately people have to agree. And quite honestly, I've never bought into this because if I see a student who's struggling in a situation, it's because they have cultural expectations that I should be sensitive to. I level with them. I'm like, is that the kind of life you want? If the answer is no, let's get you out of there, man. And then people, oh my God, telling people to move away and abandon their family. I'm like, no. I'm telling them to do right by themselves, and then they can go help other people. You put your own life vest on first before you ask other people, before you provide it to other people. So and
Well, okay,
yeah,
yeah. I mean, it's even so. It's not even to the point where I can look at this from a theological standpoint. And I could say like, okay, so if I take this back 600 years, there's a version of this where you say like, all right. It doesn't matter how much I suffer here because my kingdom is heaven once this is all said and done. But this is not the same world we live in, right?
I might be going back though.
Well, I mean, but that was that was always part of the justification. Is like, it doesn't matter if you're rich. It doesn't matter. Like that's
Yeah,
the
I
thing.
mean
You don't have to chase these pursuits because
that 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 varied from place to place,
one
though.
hundred
Yeah,
percent, 100%.
so
Don't get me wrong, but
yeah,
I'm also there.
that definitely varied.
That's not the same now. So I can't
No,
say like, well, I don't know the actual truth of this. I never will, right? Unless something happens, and if it does, that's great. But what I can tell you is that from all evidence that I've seen, you're here once,
yeah, maybe,
and well, that's what I'm saying is
yeah,
from all evidence that I've seen, you're here once.
yeah,
What do you want to do with that?
right. And I mean, and that doesn't mean that you have to be the first person who steps foot on Mars, man. I mean, you
No.
might just want a decent life and a a quiet little spot of the world to call your own. That's fine. You
Sometimes,
know?
sometimes, look, this is one of the things that they keep like fucking. You talked about like this exposure of the world where it's like, oh, you're a loser if you don't have this. Like, there are a
I
lot of
hate that
people
stuff,
when
man.
they talk about this, right? You've seen that one dude where it's like, you make how much and you've been at Disneyland how many times, right? That's why you're broke. There's a lot
Oh,
of
Caleb,
people, yeah.
I can't watch him anymore, man.
It's heartbreaking. It's
It's like I
it's
can't take the screaming anymore. But his message is 100% on point, man. It's just his presentation. I can't do it
and he gives it that look, and and that's, but that's the point here is there's a lot of people where if just your perspective changes, like actually your life is badass,
Yeah, your life is great, man.
right?
Yeah.
Right?
So you should work to preserve that.
It's about your
Yeah.
perspective on it, right?
Right.
Because I don't care. We know this about a lot. You and I have met rich people, like
Hmm.
fucking rich people. There are some
Stupid
people
rich people.
that are like great rich. They're
They're
happy
awesome.
rich,
Yeah.
love being rich. There are people that would still
Miserable.
still spit the like tear the plies on the toilet paper apart
Yeah.
because they're like, I don't have enough.
Yeah. Yeah.
I don't have enough.
Yeah. There's definitely some rich people who suffer from that brain worm. So
Yes,
yeah, I've known a couple of those too, man.
yeah, and that's a part
So
of it too. Is yeah, there have to be women that are also looking at this and like, well, okay, well, you don't have it. So actually, you have a misgiving on what you think a good life is,
well, either that or you just haven't taken time to think about it. So
or people haven't called you out on it. I mean, that's part of it.
well, one
You
or the
know?
other. I mean, sometimes like, and that's my point about like, a couple of the kids that I've dealt with over the years. It's like you need to get the fuck out of school, man. You got way more opportunity than this, out there. Is kind of thing. Is like, well, I never thought about that. It's like, yeah, that's just because you're taking whatever's on the shelf there and putting it in the cart. You so, and actually thinking about, do I really need this many, fucking handy snacks? So,
Bro, I mean,
yeah.
you're singing. You're absolutely singing it right now. And I mean, under that same token, there's that same. And I think when you talk about that journal, like the term they use, the malaise, there's a version of that right now in terms of those people that are looking at it and they say like 59% of students are expected not to find work in their field once they graduate, right?
I'm surprised it's that high.
Well,
I
again,
mean, that low.
bro, I mean, like when I graduated, nobody went into their career right away.
No.
Nobody
Uh-uh.
did. Because the people with those jobs had those jobs, and you had to wait until somebody kind of like blessed you in, right?
Yeah.
And then you got the shit job on the totem
Or
pole,
you moved.
or you moved.
Yeah.
A lot of us didn't do that.
No, a lot of us didn't do that. More of us should, but whatever. That's a
But
different argument.
it's again, unless the argument is like, yeah, but I don't want to move, and that's cool, and you can be happy
You
with
can be
that
happy with that.
because I took this here
Yeah.
and said like, I didn't want to move, so I didn't move.
Yeah, I know. But like, that doesn't entitle you to getting yeses on the other two answers of the questions. So,
Correct. And that
yeah.
also doesn't mean that as of right now you say, well, it doesn't matter because whatever job I get, AI is going to replace it anyway. It's like, you know what?
No,
It won't.
yeah, well,
It won't. It may.
you're just you're not you don't even recognize the opportunities that are out there right now. They're phenomenal, So if you can actually learn to use that stuff pretty well, and then like, oh no, I'm not going to be able to do anything because blue. I saw this whiny ass tweet the other day that was all about that. It was like,
Who said it? Do you
I don't
remember?
remember who said it, but it that one went nuclear too, and it was something along the lines of like, robots, me doing, customer service work and robots writing poetries and making movies wasn't the future I had in mind. So, and then the top response on there was like, "Why aren't you making movies?" You know? So, it was like, nothing's stopping you right now, bro. You go sign up for that fucking service on X over there and start cranking out clips at like 15-minute shots at a time, man. Go for it.
Right.
So it
Right.
was just malaise, man. So
It is. It
yeah,
is. And again, there's a time and place for that in your life. You
sure,
have to get through it,
yeah.
right? There's
It's
a
called poverty.
well, it's poverty.
Everybody needs some of that.
I mean,
Good for you.
it's a little bit of poverty, and there's a little bit of like, man, I have got to get over myself. I have to get over this thing of like, man, I'm not picking on mom, I'm not picking on dad, but I got a lot of people that were in my corner
Yeah.
that sort of brought me up to think that yes, you have all this potential,
Mm-hmm.
right? And they haven't turned the corner on getting to that point of saying like, yes, but you have to apply it. It
Right.
doesn't just
You do have to get up. This is gonna come like spoon feed you with it, man. You
and I
know?
think a lot of people do expect that. There's again that same like when they talked about those videos of girls like sitting in their fucking car like crying. They're like, I have put out like 13 resumes, and you know it's all in my field. Nobody will give me a call back. I'm like, oh, just 13,
You did that before you ate breakfast today, right?
right?
Right.
Now I'm not talking about just hitting the apply button on anywhere that can take that because they're gonna flush you on that. But yeah, that's
Yeah.
the thing. And again, I'm not trying to pick on like, oh, these kids are so entitled. No, that's dumb. But there is a version of this
No.
where, look, in
No,
terms
I
of
don't blame the kids at all, man. I fucking blame us. So we're the ones who creating all this fucking, um, like doomerism because it's people that are your age and my age who, didn't get that good job, got divorced already, lost the house, kind of thing, never get out of my parents' basement. It's people that are like our age and like 10 years younger that post that shit up there, man. So,
well, if you
or write those fucking articles for Axios or something.
well,
So,
Patrick, it's funny that you say that because if you take a look at the the faces of who showed up to the No Kings
they
protest
were
this weekend,
old, man.
these are
Dude,
the
my
people.
cousins went to those. They're in their 60s. They're awesome. I love them, and I don't have any problem if they don't like Donald Trump and want to go march in their little parade. They ain't the kids, though, man.
But they are the ones making those tweets that
They totally are, and I don't hold that against them. Whatever, that's fine, but still at the same point in time, that's not where the kids are at. So
no,
no,
no, that's what I'm saying is
yeah,
they're not there,
no,
but the people who are championing that cause that are being listened to for that,
yeah,
those are those people,
yeah, but they're
right?
not getting votes out of
It wasn't. Well, that's
that.
what I'm saying is, it wasn't kids burning
No,
down Tesla dealerships.
no, 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 no. It
It
was
was 55-year-old
your old
fucking white
fucking yeah.
hairs, right?
Well, not that far off, man. Come on.
You remember that I said like
You're right, yeah.
like 1988, and I was just gonna like, well, that was
That
like
was
two
like last year,
birthdays
yeah,
ago.
exactly.
Yeah,
Yeah. So,
yeah.
so
My grandpa gave me
yeah,
a whole $50.
yeah. So I got $10 for mowing my dad's lawn, man.
That lasts you the whole
Fucking
summer.
hey, yeah.
Oh,
So
yeah, this is. I don't want to turn this into a bitch session, but there is a component of this that, yeah, there is. I don't want to be like old guys bitching, but we have. It's got to come out a little bit. There's a,
yeah,
you know,
I get it, but I
yeah.
mean, I don't know. I think there's a lot of self-inflicted ones going on here. So it's just, the
Well,
kids will figure it out. And then like people my age and your age and older, even like 10 years younger, if they don't figure it out, fuck them. So just
well,
leave them where they're at. It's okay. I'll take your job.
this is again. This was like something that again I talked about with my doctor with. You know, she's like, I don't know what to do about my kids with college. I don't know if this is where it's going to make their money. And I think this is
Oh,
like there was this moment in the '90s, right, where this is where I think a lot of that entrepreneur worship came in, where you looked at people that had like, I just saw a hole in the market and I went for it.
yeah, I
And
went for it. I made $1 billion. And now I have a yacht and two ex-wives. And,
right,
yeah.
right.
Dude, there's always been a little bit of worship of that. But I mean, it used to be concentrated in Hollywood, not in Wall Street,
Right, right.
Whereas like, oh, you got discovered, yeah, and now you have your own private island and the King of Jordan's going to marry you or something,
What?
whatever.
So
So, no, it's just like that's the Steve Jobs thing. And quite honestly, I mean, there's just this really denigration of just actually having a bona fide job. It's
exactly.
like 9 to 5. But here's the thing, dude, is like 99.5% of all people are going to wind up there.
Yes.
Okay, they're going to figure it out eventually, man. So, and that's why I just tell students who figure it out early. I was like, figure it out fucking early. You're going to get paid before everybody else does. So just go get it.
Well, yeah, you're touching on my point here. Is like, it's not necessarily the opportunities are there in the field that you want,
You'll find them.
but they're there. And this is where you have guys right now, and they're saying like, look, I vote for Democrats, okay, but
That's your problem.
well, it's always the but part where it's like, but as a DoorDash driver, I have never been happier in my life to see these guys kicked out because I went from making this much per day to 4 times this,
Yeah.
right? And that's the same thing where I look at,
Yeah.
yeah,
I mean, like Instacart's crazy lately. The person who's actually on the app is the one who shows up at your door. It's fucking cool.
just what I'm saying. And the same thing. Like you and I, we have needed people to work on our
I
houses.
still can't get that. I still can't get that.
If the market is like, you need 2 months to get somebody,
Yep.
then I can tell you there's a labor shortage.
Oh yeah.
And that's where money is.
Oh, there's a lot of money there, man. I mean, we still can't get calls back on certain things. So what happens here is kind of different though, because then your expectations change. It's like, all right, so if the project's going to take that fucking long, I'm not going to do that many projects. So, and, my cabinets are ass, but they're fine. I can live with them for a bit.
But Pat, you and I both know that if it were cheaper, you'd have your cabinets done.
Oh, totally.
I mean, that's what I'm talking about. And that's where I'm like, you guys are sitting there saying like AI is killing all the jobs. No, you are just not looking for opportunities in this because I gotta tell you, like there was a time in my life where like, shit, if I could do a job that kept me in shape and made this kind of money,
Yeah.
I would have done this in a heartbeat.
Oh yeah, totally. So
I would have basically, I mean, it's still in the envelope, but I would have crumpled up my English degree and fucking wiped my ass with it. I'm like, dude, this pays 10 times.
yeah, but I mean, it was just different time back then, man. I mean, labor was underappreciated at the time because there were a lot of losers from the '70s who were still laying tile.
They're getting paid now.
They're getting paid now,
but that was a long
now
way.
their fucking knees are giving out and shit. Like, I mean, eventually you got to use your brain, not your body, and they're too old to figure that out. But like, and I tell my students all the time that like there's a killer combo out there that if you actually have some kind of skill or trade, and then just a little bit of college with that, to kind of show that hey, you're progressing. I mean, you're gonna mint money. So it's that simple. So like, if you know how to lay tile and do your own books, you're lethal. So
because you're hiring the people to lay the tile down.
you're doing both things,
Yeah.
I mean, you can plug in the gaps. So yeah.
All right.
Yeah. Anyway, the fucking kids. Trying to be helpful.
We are not just complaining. We are actually. This is solutions oriented shit.
It is, but I see it as individual solutions. If you yourself, recognize what's going on, you can change your shit. I could give a fuck less if the culture itself changes. So, because that's just too heavy a lift, bro.
Okay.
Yeah.
I will end with this. Okay, there is one component that they're absolutely right on. This is for sure. This is correct, right? They do look and they say like houses do cost more than they did back then proportionally.
Yep.
But I'll also say this
So is healthcare.
Well, it's not just healthcare. It's also that the houses that are being built now are 3 times the house that were being built at those
they all
times.
have granite countertops.
That is correct. So if your complaint is that there aren't enough like starter houses, I'll give you that.
Right.
And I don't know how you change that or whatever. But I mean, this is the thing is, I think you and I have a ton of these photos of like our parents. You say, where did my parents first live?
Oh yeah. My parents lived above a bowling alley. For real, like Marge and Homer, yeah.
I mean, I love that picture of my mom. I say to Dad, it's like, what is Mom doing there? Oh, she's pooping. in this field.
Right. Yeah.
She hates this
She
picture.
hates this picture. So
And the same thing, I'm like, I see these pictures of like the on base housing or the little apartment that my mom and dad lived in Pueblo
yep.
when they were he was stationed there for like
Yep.
school, right?
Yep.
And there's this thing is like, well, I can't afford like a $400,000 house. You're not
You're
supposed
not
to.
supposed to, man. You got to work your way up to that, man. So yeah. I mean, I'm sorry. It's just okay.
Yeah,
Yeah,
that's
fuck
it.
it.
We're gonna
It's
open. I
whatever.
apologize,
So
but yeah, it's just I have those. If you do you go through some of those pictures where you're like, this is when I lived over down here,
yeah,
right?
and I remember like having really nasty, cheap linoleum floors and Corwin countertops and these cabinets. Actually, yours are nice.
Well,
Yours are nice.
I actually did some of those, but
Yeah, so yours are nice, but then it was also, I mean, that was living like the high life, man. Because I mean, I go over to my
right.
fucking cousin's house, and my aunt was living in an apartment over in, fucking like what is now Hogan's Alley over there. And I mean, it was kind of like she had the 4-inch shag carpet and shit. And it was like, well, this is not living, So, but yeah, it's just different, man.
All
So
right, all right,
anyway,
all
all right,
right.
I'm Pat.
Another time. Yeah,
Another time. I'm Pat.
I'm Jeffrey.
Getting the button.
Yes.